The following program is meant for adult audiences only. If you are easily offended, you are choosing to be offended by continuing to watch. If jokes upset you, whether bad or good, you might end up crying. Being a bitch in life is difficult, I imagine, but you must find a way to continue. For all the haters and lurkers, hope you enjoy the show. For the bigot army, enjoy the show. Don't be a pussy.
そうだ。テレビつけてもいいぞ。
冒険アニメ。
よりによって。
サイレンサー式の拳銃だと。
ワクワク。
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
the Grifter Zone.
Good moo! Oh, you found your moo!
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is.
Man, I want to get drunk in a hotel room with you.
That might be taken
Phrasing.
out of context.
Gay, gay, gay.
Oh. No. How is it my fault? What? The bragging gifted this and I'm immediately called an anti-Semite? Come on, dog.
Bruh.
What are these characters? Nazi furry? Hypno, why would you do this to me? Said, welcome to Goonergate. Protect your booty hole.
What's up, nerds? It's Alyssa Mercante, Kotaku senior editor, and
nobody even wants you here.
And I would take her to Chili's, maybe. You know, like, genuinely, I just want the best for her. Genuinely.
Listen, if it was consensual and you didn't hate the Jews, I'd fuck the shit out of you. I would.
What did he say? People are gonna clip that. You know that I don't.
Clip it. I know you don't. Come on. But that's the thing. Why can't we have fun?
Bruh.
That's an interesting way of putting. That makes sense.
He's jealous. Fuck yeah. Been knew I was that bitch. I didn't need a man to tell him to fuck.
And Hypnotic again, member for 1 month. Thank you. Enjoy First Berserker. What's that black stuff between an elephant's toes? Slow natives. Wait.
Wild.
Yeah. On the other end of the spectrum. Yes.
Okay. I'd say that goes out of dad into dark, but sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely dark.
Somebody replies and it says, "This is embarrassing." And he says, "Not as embarrassing as your take on trans kids. It was not researched. It was cruel and it had no basis in facts. So forgive me if I don't take all your takes that seriously." Who's this person?
Bruh.
Look at the fucking thumbnail. God of Cock Meltdown. Oh my God, look at this. Oh man. Yeah, sure. Trans kids, for sure, man.
Right, but you're giving an opinion on an article with a headline that's inflammatory. So the fact that you're giving an opinion on what's on screen,
Did I focus on the inflammatory nature of the headline?
Well, can I assume that everything in this article you would agree with?
You shouldn't assume. It makes an ass out of yourself and me.
Okay, so
down his timeline, you're gonna see a lot of ass and titties. Okay, me on my Twitter timeline, you ain't gonna see none of that. As a matter of fact, like I can show you, I can scroll down my entire news feed on Twitter. Why would you ruin my point? I'm trying. God damn. Why would you ruin it? I didn't do that. I don't know who this chick is. Why would you do that? I can't even edit it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Someone you love been canceled? Have you been the target of online harassment because of something you said or refused to be compelled to say by the mob? Did you mistakenly think you could be an individual, form your own opinions, and keep all of your friends?
Titty
Has your social
freakers.
credit score tanked because you had a conversation with, subscribe to, or follow someone who suffers from wrongthink? Have you been called a literal Nazi because you think taking care of one's physical health is important? Have you tried apologizing for your transgressions only to find out you actually poured gasoline on the they-them flames? Have you ever had a politically incorrect thought or, heaven forbid, made an off-color joke? Well, we here at the Office of the Cancelled are here for you. As a member of the club, we offer exclusive trading cards, flak jackets, lapel pins, access to bomb shelters, as well as audio tracks from based artists that are sure to pump you up for a day at the range and get some of that much-needed two-way therapy. Remember, folks, you're only canceled if you let yourself be canceled, and every one of those collectivist NPCs can go fuck themselves.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
I'll wait some time because the longer we wait, like the more realistic it'll be, you know, when he comes back to life. The touch of the black man in a woke story. The God hand shining down, shining upon thee. White man as you lay down. Cis white man and couple in background. Understand the power of a black man is a God hand.
Pro-black Twitter!
I breathe life into you. One touch is not enough from greatness. One touch from the black man. Watch me do it again. Kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. I bring life. I bring life.
Pro-black Twitter hoes!
That's right! That's right!
Robocock, don't clip that, no!
Bruh.
Oh God, that's getting clipped.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Oh shit. I was doing so good tonight too.
Drop, retard. Robocock.
I am the foot god, Kaida.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Memecast, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We are live, boys. We are live. We are live. We are live. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, you got to bring it close, boys. Come on, man. Get in here. Let's go. Let's go. Get in here. Don't even wait. Forget the people who have no idea what we do every day. Just get in here. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. If they catch up, they catch up. Did I say Meatcast? Bro. Yamato, stop gooning. Crazy. Crazy. Come on, boys. Bring it in here. Bring it in here. Let's go. Let's go. Bring it in. Hurry up. Hurry up. Help the fatties. Help the fatties. And whatever you do, I don't care if you're new here. I don't care if you're here every day. Whatever you do,
do not touch the fucking pumpkin.
don't do it. Don't do it. Stop yourselves. I know you desperately want to, but don't do it. And listen very closely. If you're watching on YouTube, like the stream. Do it. Like it. If you're watching on Rumble, like the stream. If you're watching on Twitter, like the post. And if you're watching anywhere else, you too complain about memes. Like the stream. Like the stream. Don't let me ask you again. All right, guys, can we get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking, man? What are we checking today? Listen, we got a lot we got to talk about today. All right, we got a lot we got to talk about today. But what are you guys checking today? What is important to you, aside from touching the pumpkin, which you should not be doing?
Do not touch the fucking pumpkin.
But aside from that, Umbra says Hypnotic increased the lighting of his horror game out of fear today. Bro, oh my God. Oh my God. That's going to be the lore and it's completely made up. I swear to God. Faye says, I bought more Yakuza games. Nice. Very nice. Girl bosses at the Louvier. Okay. There you go. Meme check. Pizza empanadas. Bacon. I'm going to touch the pumpkin check. Protect Hinako check. Vengeance for Vampy. Hypnotic chicken. I mushroom stamp. Bro, what? I mushroom stamp the pumpkin. What? What is wrong with you? Common Rider. Check. Chris Hansen check. More Kaiju fights check. Ninja Gaiden 4 is really good check. Cassie getting fired check. Chicken tender check. Dan Clancy and Randy Pitchford touching the pumpkin check. Dinosaurs check. They're off to see the real fake wizard check. Licking the pumpkin check. Memes are bad check. Chicken and waffles check. Chicken empanada with fries check. Turkey check. Warren Bros is selling check. Fried chicken and water balloon check. So tired of getting my orders ready the day of delivery check. That's a lot of checks. All right, guys, listen, our ESG scores are at their maximum. We are fully funded. Like the stream. That's a lot of checks. Let's do the Big Army roll call. Let's see who is in this chat right now. Aside from former Kotaku Yuridalis, Black Samurais that unfortunately did exist at one point but no longer do, and people that apparently can't stop themselves from putting their dick in the eye of the pumpkin. I still don't know why they do that. We got King Demon Wing, Ron DFK, The Better Purple Clippy, Matthew Watson, Cyril Gunner, Peaches and Cream, Mr. Melancholy, Yamato 85. We got Faye, Joker JK, Derek Smith, Felstep, Robert Pennington says kick the pumpkin. Why so violent? Why so violent? Why are you kicking what? What?
Do not touch the fucking pumpkin.
Why'd you do that? Don't do that. That's crazy. Wow, man. People are violent. They're violent. We got 17 Crash. Pay it forward over on Rumble. The Voice in the Water. Dylan B. Mr. Melancholy. Creepier 07. Christopher Lloyd. Monkey Man 04 again. Old Man Cad. Cam the Clippy. Drake. Deku Leader. Matthew with the Hero Priest. We got Nick Havoc. Hypnotic and Rapture. Radio Chimp. We got Mad Max 2069. King Joker. Limitless Andre. We got 2K Gamer. Commander Sodok. Chicken Senpai BB. This is weird. Frenchie 07. The True Aztec Warrior. Orange 23. More dots. Full Metal Paperclip. Oliver Adam. Melody Johnson. Who else we got? Sleeping Nova. Jason Bourne. We got Angmar WK. We got Randall the Vandal. Dark Obsidian. Joel Jimenez. Blue Pumpkin Pussy. New 52 Barry Allen. Pizza Cat Elite. Schizosaurus. Adam Jubinar Rumble. Adair Soto. Triple J Jr. Lex Icebox. Kiara Coley. Tess brings results. Avengers Prime. Kick the pumpkin? What are we doing? Joel says make love to the pumpkin? Why are we on two opposite extremes? It's crazy. Democulus on Rumble. Raptor Kratos. Faye. Brantford 671. Sanaka and Saibo. Or Cebu. Secret Final Boss. Grooves Games. All right, 4 more people, boys. 4 more people. And then we got to get on with the show. 4 more people. That's it. Tiger King. What's up, man? Crash Collins on Rumble. We got Logicide Gaming. John Bon Zombie. What's up, man? How you doing? Mookie Dookie over on Rumble. We got A2D2. Oh, what a great name. Shout out. ATC Apex. So can we get into this AI stuff? Are you rushing me? Are you rushing me? Shout out to ATC Apex. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you. Randall the Vandal. Taffy M. Dead Ice Lock on Rumble. Draconic over on Rumble. Schizosaurus. Zoob 837. Didn't know I was going to get mentioned. Laughing my ass off. Guys, we got a lot of new people in the chat. You know what to do when you find a new person. Before you completely penetrate their booty hole, you make sure to welcome them into the stream and say hello. That's what you do. And last but not least, we got Lionheart. We got Jason Alator. We got Dragonite over on Rumble. We got Jimmy. We got Melodic Method. And we got Taffy M. Nexus Shadows 575. And we got Anubis Hentai Hades. All right, guys. I called out as many people as I possibly could. Let's sacrifice your fellow Big Army member and let's see who is going to get tonight's massive money shot today. And if we're lucky, it might land on one of these new boys that have been fucking rushing us the entire stream. Let's find out. The voice of the water says, no Wizards of the Coast, no Diddy, no baby furries. Provide chocolate chip cookies with datura mixed into the dough, causing sender to start hallucinating and hit the pink teddy bear that is down by 4 instead of me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lionheart, I be rolling up the bubba spliff, your rude boy, all ye who up on the Babylon juice be bad man. Go down ×8, can't send back to the rude boy. I see the spliff, yeah. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 17 crash with the booty hole protected by emojis. Entry denied. No Alyssa Mercante. No Cocksmoker Clancy. No AI. No Randy Dickford. I've got a real life premium pooter hole for premium gamers only to go down by 3. 1, 2, 3.
Holy shit.
Oh no, man. Oh no. David Chen. David Chen. You know, what makes it worse is the profile picture. Like I would say 8 out of 10 times the profile picture makes it worse. And then what it makes it even worse than the profile picture is the comment with the profile picture. Right? So it's like, we got a shiny Pokemon saying he's going balls deep and he's about to get the money shot. I'm just, you can't, you really can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Congratulations to David Chen. You are the recipient of the money shot today.
Money, cash. Money.
Wrong one. Although unironically, that's pretty fucking funny. Because
What the?
Like, I tried to hold in the laugh. I couldn't hold in the laugh, man. I couldn't. Like the stream. David Chen, go clean up, man. Go clean your shiny Pokemon. All right. Listen, man, we got a lot we got to talk about today, all right? Sincerely, like the fucking stream. Spam reactions, all right? Today's going to be a good day, man. Today's going to be a good day. Listen, first off, it's a glorious Tuesday, all right? Glorious Tuesday. Plenty to talk about today. Some of the main topics we're going to talk about today is Palworld's Studios proclamation that they will not work with any studio that utilizes AI. Right? They're not going to utilize AI in the slightest. They are going to try to be AI free because they consider it to be basically slop, I suppose. So we're going to talk about that and see what they had to say about that. We're also going to talk about what happened over at Twitch. Okay. What happened over at TwitchCon? Obviously, you guys know it seems like every day TwitchCon is, let's just say, struggling to not have an issue. Well, apparently, they royally fucked over the VTuber community, where now over on X, they're talking about it nonstop. Like, there's a bunch of posts that I have to go over today that are all going like pretty mega viral. People talking about that there were gifts stolen, potentially by Twitch staff, that the staff somehow misplaced or lost all the gifts that were given to VTubers. Because I'm sure that's legit. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's legit. We're going to go over the seemingly, how do I want to put it? The seemingly bad way that VTubers are treated over on Twitch. We're going to talk about that as well, because I find it to be very important. Yeah, they said they lost it. I know. They lost it. Sure. So we're going to talk about that and all the stuff that's been going on with that nonsense. We are also going to be covering some fast topics. like the Sinking City 2 being delayed. For those of you that played the original Sinking City, unfortunately, that game's being delayed. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how Battlefield 6 has officially, as of now, I believe it's already been released, has been nerfed. In terms of the XP gain, we talked about that the other day, but now I believe it's live, so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how apparently the Payday developers have passed off Payday 3 to a whole nother studio in the hopes that they could salvage the game because, well, the game is pretty much dead. So we're going to talk about that. We also got Battlefield 6 campaign boss apparently calling out EA for leaving him and other developers out of the credits from the game after closing his studio back in 2024. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about how much money AWS costs the internet. Remember when we said 1/3 of the internet got shut down for a few hours because of AWS? Well, apparently we are ranging anywhere from $100 million to hundreds of billions of dollars, depending on, how we factor this in. So we got to talk about this. And we're going to talk about something that a former God of War executive said about what he considers to be the blockbuster games industry right now and how we need to steer away from the Hollywood aspect of the gaming industry and go back to making games that are fun, because if they're not fun, well, they're not worth it. And I agree with that, unironically. So we got a lot we got to talk about, especially when it comes to some funny videos. We got some funny videos to show. But before we do any of that, we got to do the #1 segment on YouTube, the #1 segment on Rumble, the #1 segment all around the galaxy. This segment is none other than the pre-stream legend.
Money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no-code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
Fuck, he got another donation. Add it to the total.
Shout out to all my unofficial moderators that are in the chat. This is your favorite part. I hope you guys enjoy the show. We got BioTWolf 19 with a legendary 5. What do you call a crazy werewolf in the moonlight? A Luna tick. Shout out to BioTWolf 19 with the 5. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. Barry Stroud with the 5. Sign in a pet shop window. Free legless parakeet. No purchase necessary. Barry Stroud, thank you, bro. King Demon Wing saving us. King Demon Wing, the fucking legend himself, dropping a 5 membership banger.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to King Demon Wing. Thank you so much for the 5 membership banger. And considering that this is the first banger of the stream, you already know what that means. Shout out to King Demon Wing. Thanks so much for the 5 membership banger. I appreciate that, man. We had a crazy membership train over on Griffcast. Maybe we'll get lucky and get one here. We got Old Man Cad saying we got almost 400 people watching and 192 likes. That means that we have over 200 hate watchers in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. 200 of these
Fuck,
people.
he got another donation. Add it to the total. Sigh.
Don't be a hate watcher. We got Mr. Melancholy with a 149 super sticker. Shout out to Mr. Melancholy with a 149 super sticker. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. RDH with a 2 bumped up to a better paying job. Money's coming. Hey, shout out to RDH. Let's go, bro. Congratulations on your better paying job. What are you going to buy yourself, man? You're going to buy yourself? Well, you can let me know in the chat. We got Gamer Forever with an NOK50. I gifted you a game. I hope you could give me a game for my Red Boy Super Chat. 100 to 300 NOK. Thank you so much, Gamer Forever. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. I will check that out. Chicken Senpai BB, member for 9 months with a chicken. A fried chicken. A fried chicken. Very nice. Anubis Hentai Hades with a 2. My elf on the shelf ran away after pumpkin poking. Pumpkin poking. Pumpkin poking. This man is poking his pumpkin. Wow. Mr. Melancholy with a 2 month says, we don't hate Twitch enough. We already knew they mistreated VTubers, but they continue to sink even lower every day. I would agree with that. And honestly, it's probably going to get even worse than that. And then we got Peaches and Cream with a 149 super sticker. Thank you so much, Peaches and Cream. I appreciate that. Legendary. Thank you. What was it, by the way? Peaches. Of course it was. Of course it was. And last but not least, we got Lord Bowser II. A member for 1 month says 1 month. Let's go. Shout out to Lord Bowser. Thank you so much, man, for the 1 month membership. I appreciate that. 1 month of legendary status. And then we got Toxic with a 189. Let's lock eyes and double team the pumpkin. So that's a little gay. That's definitely like, am I the only one that thinks that?
What the fuck?
Am I the only one? Like, it's bad enough that you're trying to fuck the pumpkin, but you telling another man, let's lock eyes? Like, why are you telling another man to lock eyes with you? That's a little bit gay. I feel like the chat has to agree with that, you know? A little? Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just saying. It's quite gay. It's quite gay. I don't know about that, man.
Do not touch the fucking pumpkin.
Man. And then we got Ali Kusanage continuing the membership train for 1 Hypnotic memberships. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, Ali Kusanagi. Now let's move over to Rumble. We are finished on YouTube. I think YouTube's done. They're tapped out. We got Adam Juma with $1. Got to smack the shit out of the new people before you go balls deep on them. Show them who their new master is. God damn. Nice and aggressive. You gotta love it. Shout out to Adam Juma. Raging D-Head with a 2. I'll give Taylor Lorenz props for wearing the mask. Problem is Dan Clancy has Hassan's ballsack breath just as bad as her. Makes sense. Makes sense. And on Rumble, we are done. We are done. Shout out to Rumble. Last but not least, Chicken Senpai BB coming in strong with the $9.99, and he's offering pumpkins and fried chicken. That's a hell of a combination. Pumpkins and fried chicken. Who's going to take up Chicken Senpai BB's offer? I'm sure we'll find out in the chat. All right, boys, and that is it. We are fully caught up everywhere. Shout out to all you guys for the pre-stream support. We are currently trying to get, if we get lucky today, I know everybody might be tapped out by giving Smash AT all your money. However, if we get lucky, we'll get 478 tier 1s in a row and 167 tier 2s in a row. And as always, the Red Boy goal is available. If you super chat a Red Boy, you have to let us know which girls you want to see. You have a choice of 4 different types right now. And the brand new elf girls are one of them. As of yesterday, we had elf girls, which seem to be very popular with a lot of people. But you make your pick. You choose your pick. And we'll go from there. All right, content time. Content time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the funny videos first. and then we're going to move on into the actual content. This upcoming video, the only reason why I want to show it is because I did something very similar when I was playing Dying Light, the original Dying Light. And when I saw it, I laughed, but I also cringed because I know I've done this before. I feel like all of us have probably done this before. Check this out. I have definitely done this probably like 2 or 3 times. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if you guys are aware, but in Dying Light, you could do a drop kick, and it's like one of my favorite moves to do in Dying Light. But I have absolutely done this before, where I would go for a drop kick and I fucking fell off the goddamn building right to my death. Sometimes I didn't die, but that is just real smooth, man. Now, he was catching wind, man. He was catching some high velocity there. But I don't know what the fuck he was aiming at, because he was way off track. So that is instant meme category, but I thought that was hilarious. Let's X that out. Now we're gonna get into this. Everybody's gonna like this one. Everybody's gonna like this one. So your favorite how do you jump that high? Yo, bro, I don't know. So your favorite, everybody's favorite totally not paid by the Democratic Party Gen Z shill, Harry Sissy Boy, was on Piers Morgan, right? And I saw this clip and I fucking died laughing. Is it me, or is he looking more and more feminine as he gets older? I don't know why that is. Maybe it's him selling his soul to to Biden or something like that, or Kamala Harris at this point. Who knows? But this kid is the Democratic Party's ultimate Gen Z shill, right? He makes content for them, promotes them nonstop on TikTok, all that stuff, right? So unironically, Harry Sisson decided to go on Piers Morgan, and I guess he is arguing with two conservative influencers. These two right here. I don't know about this one. I gotta imagine he probably is, but he decided to go on and argue, and these guys, and even Piers Morgan, literally all got together and dunked on Sissy Boy live for everybody to see. It is hilarious. This is a 1.5-minute clip. Let's play this, and you'll see exactly what I mean. It's hilarious.
By the way, I'd be happy to answer the question about whether or not a high-ranking Democrat has used this rhetoric. Who is Kamala Harris?
I know. I want you to answer all the questions. I want you to answer all the questions
for you. Who is Kamala Harris?
Wait. Answer all the questions I just gave you. And can you name me when Kamala Harris said that Donald Trump is Hitler?
Who was when did
Kamala Harris? Great.
Was Kamala Harris last year a high-ranking Democrat when she was?
When did Kamala Harris call Donald Trump Hitler?
October of 2024. Kamala Harris said on the campaign trail, Donald Trump vowed to be a dictator on day one. His former chief of staff said he wanted generals like Hitler's. Donald Trump openly admires dictators, including Adolf Hitler. Last October.
Bro, what are these faces that you're making, bro? What are these faces? What is wrong with your face? I don't understand what's happening here. Damn, they have receipts, bro. That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible, but it gets much worse.
That was said on the campaign trail from the Democrat.
Kamala Harris said this during the campaign, during the closing days of the campaign. It was her final campaign pitch. Is that high enough ranking for you? You guys, you supported her for president.
Exactly, because there have been reports
the person
that Donald
you
Trump
supported for president is someone
just relax,
who was campaigning by calling Trump Hitler.
Jack,
you're so disingenuous when you bring this stuff up. You can't even acknowledge the fact that your own candidate was on the campaign. She got a video about it. It's on her Facebook, or it's on her Twitter page.
Let me offer one here, which is
I never want to hear anybody complain about how on SNH we interrupt each other nonstop. When you got motherfucking Piers Morgan show where everybody's talking over each other nonstop, I don't ever want to hear it again.
Hillary Clinton literally compared Trump's rally in Ohio last week to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler's.
Don't you guys find it funny how he tried to interrupt these two, but the moment Piers Morgan started talking, he knew to shut the fuck up because it's his show? He knew to shut the fuck up.
Speeches. Speaking of the Texas
let me just
Tribune
work.
Festival in
Everybody,
Austin, she made reference to Hitler speeches, which saw people raise their right arms in the air in the Nazi salute. I remember as a young student, trying to figure out how people basically got bought in by Hitler. She said,
Louise.
how did that happen? I'd watch newsreels and I'd see this guy standing there ranting and raving and so on. It happens all the time.
Felt it. Literally felt it, Harry Sissy Boy. Absolutely felt it. What a beautiful thing. So, if you guys don't know who Harry Sissy Boy is, it's probably for the better that you don't know him. But imagine like, so let's talk gaming terms, right? Imagine like Booty Adams, right? You guys obviously know who Booty Adams is, right? You know who Booty Adams is?
Oh, you found your moo.
So Booty Adams is somebody that literally just lies for a living. He'll do anything and everything to get a free game code, free product from the studios, like maximum shill, right? We're talking about someone that has 30,000 followers or something like that on X and gets like 2 likes. He gets like 2 likes a post because he obviously bought all his followers to convince the industry that he's somebody when he's nobody, right? His YouTube channel has, I think, like 8,000 or 10,000 subs or 15, something like that. Something. And he, when he goes live, the only people watching it is like himself and his friend. He gets like 3 viewers every live stream. But somehow, some way, he's getting all this free product from Xbox and all these corporations and stuff like that because they think he's somebody, or at the very least, he's the right person for what he's saying. So the reason why I bring up Booty Adams, because I haven't spoken about Booty Adams in a long fucking time. The reason why I bring him up is because Harry Sissy Boy is the equivalent for the Democratic Party, like Booty Adams is for the gaming industry. Like, Sissy Boy literally just says whatever he's paid to say. He is a paid Democratic Party shill, and he says that he's not, but he is. It's been proven, it's been exposed that he's been paid by the Democratic Party and still is till this day. And then he tried to gaslight people and say, well, I wasn't paid by them. I was always honest about it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, so anytime I see some shit like this, I just find it to be hilarious. Hilarious. But let's move on. Next one, let me X this out. Guys, we finally... So remember how Atreus was in a bad mood on the last SNH, right? You guys remember how Atreus was in a bad mood on the last SNH? And the entire time I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with Atreus. Why was he in such a bad mood? Well, we actually have footage and proof as to why Atreus was in a bad mood. We have footage. So apparently in Atlanta, Atreus was very busy. They were very busy that night. All right. We actually have footage. Let's watch this. So Atreus is driving the red Corvette because, he's a grifter, so he's got all the money. And apparently he was caught on camera doing something he should not have been doing. All right, let's check this out. I spoke with him. I told him we're gonna have to we're gonna have to figure something out. I don't think we can have him on the show anymore because violence is never the answer. But anyway, check this out.
Inside the parking garage at Park Towers off Hammond Drive, surveillance cameras show a red Corvette.
So these 2 cars almost hit, right? Atreus did not pay attention to the stop sign. The white guy almost hit Atreus, right? And you would think that would be the end of it. However, I guess Atreus was very upset that night.
Corvette running a stop sign.
And I just figured, whoa. And he halts, he blocks it so I can't go any further. He gets out of his car and
oh
I
shit.
get out of my car.
Thompson says the driver wasted no time getting physical, landing several punches before kicking him to the ground.
Damn, Atreus!
From me. Go home. I said that several times, like, just go.
He says the man started to walk away, but turned back after seeing Thompson reach for his phone to call 911. That's when he says the attack escalated. Thompson blacked out. When he came to, the suspect had
not the phone, Atreus
smashed his phone.
Oh shit, he got the power stance. Making it
impossible to call for help.
I can't process that. I just couldn't think of being able to get that angry over nothing.
Tonight, Sandy's.
Oh no, there it is. There it is, boys. That's it. The mugshot. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. He's been on the show for a long time. That can't be Atreus. He's too tall. No, you don't understand. So, like in Atlanta, they have lower ceilings just so that people feel less embarrassed about their height. Right? That's how it is in Atlanta. Atreus became a liberal overnight. Maybe. Atreus wears your cowboy hat. It's a grift. The cowboy hat's a grift. He doesn't wear that outside. Outside, he wears typical gear. You know what I'm saying?
Springs police confirm they've issued arrest warrants for this suspect.
I just want him to catch him so he doesn't do it to somebody else.
Damn, he kept going after that, bro. He kept beating the shit out of this man. That's crazy. So obviously, I'm just joking. I saw this video. And I'm like, damn, this is insane. Is this real or AI? This is 100% real. This is 100% real. This happened in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where it happened. This guy beat the shit out of him all because they almost hit each other's car when they could have just, like, you know, moved on with their lives. But again, apparently that's not allowed, I suppose. Let's keep going. Where are we at? All right. No more funny videos. Now we're going to go over some of the quicker topics. The first topic is going to be Emaru. I don't know if you guys are aware. I didn't see this on her original live stream, but Emaru, really quick, has confirmed that she will be pressing charges against the man who tried to kiss her and do other things to her at TwitchCon, you know, the very safe place for streamers.
Like, people aren't saying this for no reason. Like, I feel like you guys don't get it or something. Like, I could have literally been stabbed yesterday. Literally.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that she's actually very lucky that it didn't escalate past you know, what it was. And that's not to say that you know, what happened was something light, because obviously it wasn't. But she could have easily been killed and nothing would have been done about it. Like, literally nothing would have been done about it whatsoever. It's so fucking sad.
Like,
she's very lucky. And I think she knows that. I think she genuinely knows that.
I have also seen people asking if I'm like taking any type of legal action. I am pressing charges against the guy with the police. As for anything else, I don't know yet, because I've been having my manager handle all of those, like, side conversations. So I have no idea, but I don't. It's just not okay. Like, people.
Crazy. Oh man, I really hope that she goes after them and sues Twitch, right, or Amazon as a you know, as a combined force. But to be honest with you, I don't think she's going to. I really don't. And this kind of goes into the conversation that I had yesterday, talking about how women, unfortunately, most women do not like confrontation, which is, you know, it sucks, because situations like this, she absolutely should be doing it. She has probably one of the easiest cases that she could get paid out so nicely. She has the easiest case in the world. You know, for a fact, Twitch and Amazon would never let that case see the light of day in a courtroom. You know for a fact that they would settle with her. 100%. You know for a fact they will. They don't want to go through discovery or any of that bullshit. They don't want to do that. They would settle immediately. They all know that, right? And chances are, if she even threatens a lawsuit, one of two things can happen. One of which is more likely than the other. In my opinion, Amazon will pay her for her silence, which I think is the more likely scenario, right? Or Amazon will terminate their contract with her because they deem her to be too risky, which I feel like is less likely, right? Because, well, that's a bad PR look. They can't afford that right now. So we'll see what ends up happening if she does any kind of legal repercussions. But as of right now, at least she is pressing charges against that fucking psychopath that decided to do that. And at the very least, it means that they do, in fact, have him. Well, to be fair, they probably let him go, and they're gonna follow up with it. But they did, in fact, at least arrest him or bring him in for questioning or whatever you want to call it. So at the very least. So hopefully she gets what she deserves, because she deserves to take everything from Twitch as much as humanly possible. Another quick topic. That guy would get no cash bail. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like, yes, they arrested him, but obviously he's going to be back on the street. Another fast topic, something that I admit I don't know a lot about, but I've read enough to know that this is a very common and fucked up situation. Okay. So this post here was going viral. And I don't know how, maybe because it's Yeet. Probably because it's Yeet. And I've clicked on a couple of their posts. I don't think I follow Yeet. No, I don't follow Yeet, but I've clicked on a couple of their posts, so chances are this is why this popped up on my Twitter, right? But when I saw this, I read this, and I was like, I have no idea what this is, right? So apparently this post went viral, and it's from somebody called Azalea Lexi, okay? Come to find out, I think this is like an OnlyFans girl or something along the lines, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. So she ended up making this post, and she said, I have decided to dismiss my lawsuit against Rich Campbell. No payment was offered by either of us to the other. I want to thank everyone for their support over this difficult period, and I wish him well in his future endeavors. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, is this some sort of like defamation case? Is this like what is this? Right? What is this? Is this something like small? What's the deal here? It sounded very sketchy to me. Well, come to find out, this is a prime example of a woman ruining someone's life and then just walking away after doing so. Nick Pro Reborn, right? Nick Pro Reborn, who apparently follows me. So, I mean, that's news. He says, no, I don't accept this result. You accused him of rape. He lost everything, absolutely everything as a result of it. It should end with someone in prison, either him as a felon or you for felony perjury. Rape claims should never end with I wish him well in his future as a conclusion from the plaintiff. Are you fucking kidding me? And once I read that, bro, I was like, oh no.
Holy shit.
Because immediately I was like, wow, that gives that whole context of I wish him well in his future endeavors a totally different meaning, right? A totally different meaning. So as I started to look through this post and I'm reading through it, I'm seeing people like verify this. This is way too common. From Tectone, Tebow says accuses man of rape, dismisses lawsuit, wishes him well. Women moment. Bro, this has got to stop. Like this, I don't know how. I really don't know how. Okay, because I understand. I know the world that we live in. All right, I'm not stupid. I know the world that we live in. The moment a woman says something, it's immediately truth. The man is guilty, and it doesn't matter if it's proven that he's not guilty. It doesn't matter. Like the damage is done. It is what it is. And the man can obviously come back. The man can still make money sometimes, you know, depending on whatever, and he can still have, but at the end of the day, it's never the same, right? This is why, and this is why, like I said the other day, this is why people are not talking to each other anymore. This is why people are not even socializing anymore. When people ask the question, why is it that relationships are becoming rarer and rarer? Why is it that socialism, or socializing, I should say, not socialism. Oh my God. Socializing. Why is it that socializing is getting worse and worse? Why is it that it's getting more and more awkward? Why is it that men don't even approach women anymore? Why is it that women go online when they're in their 30s after getting ran through over and over and over, complaining about not being able to find a man? Why? And it's because of this shit. It's because of shit like this that is the reason why a lot of that is happening. Now, obviously, there are other factors at play, but this is one of the main ones, because nothing bad happens to the person that does this shit. You know, nothing bad ever happens. They don't get any repercussions. They don't get thrown in jail. they don't get any kind of like social backlash, there will still be women gaslighting this woman and calling her stunning and brave for ruining a man's life for 3 years. There may not be many, but there's going to be women that are doing it. And this is fucking unbelievable. You know, this is seriously unbelievable. Again, ruins his life. Take backsies. Wish him the best in the future endeavors. It's so fucking stupid. It really is. I really hope that in the future, I don't know if this will be after my lifetime, but I really hope in the future, for the betterment of everyone's kids in the future, I hope that the legal system catches up with this nonsense. I don't think it will, but I hope that it does, because this is unbelievable that shit like this is still happening, and it happens often. It does. It happens often. A lot of men's lives get ruined because of women like this that have and know. It's not even about having, it's about knowing that you can make a false claim and nothing will happen to you, right? Mostly, right? There are some women that have had their lives ruined after a false claim, but it will never be to the same level as the man that they ruined themselves. And I agree that there needs to be severe reverse legal repercussions, right? Just like this person, Waydot, says, there needs to be severe reverse legal repercussions. The dude lost his entire career in days at the height of his success, probably causing millions of dollars in damages. Insane that people just let this happen time and time again. There needs to be massive levels of reverse legal repercussions. Whatever the maximum amount of time that the man would have served in jail, the woman needs to serve that same amount of time plus 15 minimum. If the man was going to serve 20 years, the bitch got to do 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, I maybe that's extreme, but that's how I feel, because it's unbelievable that this shit keeps going on. But sadly, it is enabled by the legal system right now. This is enabled by the legal system. It's enabled by just everybody that's part of it, and not even just the legal system. It's enabled. It's enabled by society. Society enables it, right? Not the men, because the men are the ones getting it 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, right? But still, there has to be some level of repercussion, because it really is. It's at this point, like, this is fucking stupid now. It's been stupid for the longest time, but this is like really stupid now. It really is. In any case, yeah, people keep roasting him, roasting her. Wish him well. Didn't she claim he sexually assaulted her? Strange, right? Like, wait, isn't it? Yeah, if this person did this to you, why are you wishing him well in his future endeavors? What the fuck? What are you canceling a contract? What is he, your employee, and you're firing him? Because that's how this sounds. This sounds like a fucking employee being fired. Like, sorry, Jonathan. You know, unfortunately, we're going to have to go our separate ways, but we wish you well in your future endeavors. What the hell is that? My God. She still has posts up lying about this. The countershoot is going to hit hard. Hopefully, she is ordered to pay a few hundreds of thousands. Oh, let me see. I didn't read this. Back in 2023, he blamed me for my own rape to his fan base and sent them after me like rabid dogs. You thinking he has no valid criticisms is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Who the fuck are you? You must have said some retarded ass shit to get roasted by Destiny that hard. Google is fucking free, and no, I was not responsible for being literally assaulted by someone who was my friend. You're clearly just as brain dead as he is. Oh, he was a former member of OTK? Oh, no. Oh, shit. Of course, bro. Of course, man. This is why, dude. This is why, bro. Like, these guys who are really famous, who are part of these big groups, you got to be careful letting in these fucking streamer girls into your little circle, because, bro, they almost always never have good intentions. Very, very rarely that they do. And you could tell the ones who do versus the ones that don't. And this is clearly one who did not have good intentions whatsoever. The lawyers right now. Rich's lawsuit against Azalea was settled 3 months ago. I wish him well in his future endeavors as either them having had a talk and resolve things personally or her holding back to abide by a settlement. Probably. Got supposedly assaulted by Rich Campbell. I wish him well. Fake claims she gets sentenced the same amount of time of the actual charges, plus the financial costs of the reputational damage. No, there needs to be jail time. Fuck the money, because there's always a way to get out of not paying the money some way, somehow. There needs to be jail time, like literal fucking jail time. I hope Rich goes live and just drops every piece of dirt he has on everyone. Fuck them hoes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. I think he should absolutely countersue, which supposedly he is from some of the comments I read, but I haven't been able to verify that. This isn't what you say after you've accused someone of assault. Yeah, 100%. This is a really weird one, especially after Aspen's About Rich response video on YouTube at the time. Him having a conversation with Rich about it, then immediately dismissing him from OTK and mentioning that there were other women too, doesn't scream nothing happened. Well, this doesn't scream that something happened, so that's the problem. So in any case, I saw this and I was like, dude, this is wild, and this shit needs to fucking stop. It needs to stop. I don't know how. I don't know if it ever will, but I genuinely hope that it does. Hopefully, at some point, even if it's past my lifetime, at some point, I hope it does, for the future of everybody else. Let's continue. All right, gaming content. Here we go. So we got Xbox. We got an interview with Sarah Bond. You guys know who Sarah Bond is, I hope, anyway. I hope. The next Xbox will be high-end. High-end. With a curated experience, Xbox president Sarah Bond says. So this got me thinking, okay? This got me thinking. As we are all aware, Xbox is seemingly shifting away from hardware and going more towards I guess you could say publishing, kind of like Sega did in the past, but not as quickly. The fact that she's calling this high-end could obviously be PR speak, which it probably is to an extent, because let's be real, they called the current Xbox and the current PlayStation before they came out, they called it high-end systems, and we all saw how that ended, right? These systems, they were supposed to be able to do 8K or 4K at 60. Like all these promised specs went completely out the window after a couple of years of the systems being out, right? So they were sold on complete bullshit. But let's say they're not lying, okay? T-Jab says, we are 226 away from tier 1. That is all. Thank you, T-Jab. We're getting felted. Let's say that she's not lying. Let's say it is going to be a high-end system. Now, you got to ask yourself, well, what does that mean? Right? What the hell does that mean to be a premium console? Because you sound like Randy Pitchford right now. Premium console for premium gamers. That's what you sound like right now, right? So obviously we know that we have the ROG Ally X, right? The ROG Ally X is $1,000 fucking dollars. Okay? That's expensive in and of itself. So then you have to ask yourself and wonder, okay, well, if the next Xbox is going to be a premium console, are we talking about a console that's over $1,000? And I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to make the prediction that the next Xbox, and I don't think it's much of a prediction, to be honest with you. I think the next Xbox and the next PlayStation is going to be over $1,000. I think part of the reason why they ended up pushing $1,000 handheld, although supposedly it was Asus that did that and not Xbox, but I digress. I think that the next console is going to be over $1,000. And the reason why is because they have been raising the prices of everything. They raised the price of the old console to justify the price of the ROG Ally X. You guys notice how they raised the price of the older consoles before they announced the price of the ROG Ally X so that people would not get sticker shocked as much? Because think about how bad it would look if they released the ROG Ally X at $1,000 and your Xbox system was at like $400 or something like that. You know what I mean? Think about how bad that would look. Or if the Xbox Series X, what was the original price? Like 500, 550, whatever it was. Let me see. What was the original Xbox Series X price? Let me see. 500. It was 500 for the 1 terabyte model, $499.99. So imagine releasing a $1,000 handheld and your system is $499. People would be like, what the fuck? Right? But since they raised the price and they bumped it up, it made the sticker shock a little bit more easier to handle for a lot of people. I also think this is going to be a second tier to this, right? So they raised the price of the initial systems to justify the handheld. The handheld is going to be expensive to justify the new systems. Again, that's my opinion. Can't verify that. I'm just speaking my own personal thoughts. But I believe that the ROG Ally X is a means to justify the ends, where they are going to bump up the price of the next generation Xbox and PlayStation, because PlayStation is going to do the same thing. Well, they did do the same thing. PlayStation, all this stuff, they're gonna be over $1,000. You might get lucky and maybe like the Series S version of the next system will be $999, right? It'll be right under $1,000. But if you want something equivalent to the Series X in the new system, I think it'll be over $1,000, me personally. Plus, you got to consider, the subscription. You got to pay for Game Pass. Well, you don't have to pay for Game Pass, but you get what I'm saying. Like, most people are probably going to pay for Game Pass. So that's another like $400 per year, $360 per year. By the time the next Xbox comes out, Game Pass will be $500 a year. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It is console gaming as we knew it is over. It's over, in my opinion. Console gaming as we knew it is over. And I understand some people love consoles. I get it. Totally get it. But I think it's over. I don't see how it goes past this very easily. Not to mention, Nintendo's doing this themselves as well for their own little group that they have. So let's read this really quick. Even with the Xbox Series X and S struggling in sales compared to PlayStation 5, it would be shocking if the next console from Microsoft were anything but a premium and high-end device. But Bond's comment about a curated experience should inspire speculation, as she didn't directly address murmurs of the next Xbox being PC-like. Executives on the Xbox team have previously stated that the company is focused on building dedicated devices with optimized gaming experiences, with the ROG Ally X being a big part of that initiative. The new handheld emphasizes the Xbox full-screen experience UI, which also allows users to access games from other PC storefronts, such as Steam. Bringing this interface and functionality to a console will mark a wholly different approach from the competition. Of course, based on what we see to the Xbox full-screen experience, the software needs a lot of work. GameSpot's impression of the ROG Ally X described the operating system as undoubtedly frustrating to use. Yeah, again, at this point, I know Valve is working on the next Steam Deck. Valve is also working on the next headset, VR headset. I hope that the next Steam Deck blows everything else out the water. I really do. And at a lower price, too, which it probably will be. It probably will be, in my opinion. But I really hope that happens, because so many Steam Decks have been sold. It's not even funny. And they do literally zero marketing. Let me see. How many Steam Decks have been sold? So as of early 2025, Steam Deck has reportedly sold between 4 to 6 million units globally, with some sources indicating a specific estimate of around 3.7 million units by the end of 24 and possibly over 4 million by the early 2025. So it's probably at 5 to 6 million units right now with zero marketing. Zero marketing. How many Switch 2s have been sold? Nintendo has sold a little over 6 million units of Switch 2s. So keep in mind, guys, the amount of time between the Switch being out and how many have been sold versus how long the Steam Deck's been out. The Steam Deck has had literally zero marketing and has still sold 5 to 6 million units, if not a little bit more. It's a pretty fucking good number. I would almost imagine it's going to sell more handhelds than Xbox will. I can pretty much damn near guarantee that at this point, even with the Xbox branding. You know, Courageous Kirsten said Steam Deck had word of mouth. Exactly. No, yeah. When I say zero marketing, I'm talking about zero paid marketing. So zero forced marketing. Everything is all either in-house or word of mouth. So they advertise the Steam Deck, obviously, on Steam, because why wouldn't they? And then word of mouth got the Steam Deck to sell as much as it did, right? So for a system with no marketing whatsoever, paid marketing whatsoever, 6 million units is pretty fucking good, you know? And I got to be honest with you, I use my Steam Deck almost every day. Almost every day. I have the Steam Deck OLED. I originally had the Steam Deck LCD. I love the systems. They're great. Fantastic. The OLED especially is really good. I use them almost every day. They are fantastic. They run games fairly well. A lot of customization, obviously, that you could do with it. It is great. It is great. I literally was about to say that. Report AFK 100%. So he says Steam Deck is sick. I have emulators on there to play old school SNES, Steam games, NES games, etc. Exactly. So I was going to say that the customization, you can do so much emulation on that system. It's ridiculous. Now that's something that they don't advertise, obviously, for reasons, but still, you could do a lot with a Steam Deck. It's insane. So anyway, I saw this article and I immediately thought, I thought to myself, I'm like, I'm very curious as to how this is going to play out and what these new systems are going to be. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been an uptick in conversations about next generation hardware. And that goes for both Xbox and PlayStation. They're starting to make their moves. They're starting to release information little by little by little by little. And I think by probably mid to end 2026, I think we will start to see the first iterations of these next generation consoles that are rumored to be slated for 2027. I think we will start seeing it at that point, if not shortly after that. So we'll see. But this current generation didn't even have an amazing game. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're going to skip over the game. All right, guys, we totally promised this time. Everything we promised the last time, we totally promised we're going to do this time. Believe us. Please believe us. Like, I know we promised 8K, and I know we had to take it off the box of our consoles because we lied to you, but we're going to put it on the box of the new consoles and hope that we could get to it this time. You know, it's like, bro, I still can't believe they did that. I can't believe PlayStation literally removed that from the boxes because they don't want to get sued for it. Because they fucking lied, bro. Well, the fan says, I'd rather have a Steam Deck just for emulation. Yeah, I mean, again, it's something that you can definitely utilize for that pretty easily if you wanted to, right? Like, emulation is not my thing, but again, a lot of people use it for emulation. Gunnar Dama says it'll be 16K. Yeah, okay, I suppose. Skeg says us console gamers are getting felted. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that unless you're a Nintendo fanboy, I think that a lot of console gamers are going to realize slowly but surely that sadly they have been left behind. You know, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that in the way of the corporations. I think the corporations have left you guys behind in chase of the global market, which includes a lot of PC, includes a lot of just, like, I guess you could say third party. Like, a lot of it is just going that route, which means that the identities that you guys used to have as consoles are slowly but surely eroding away. Slowly but surely eroding away. Now, consoles will always be huge in Japan, for example, because in Japan, it's just consoles are a thing. Like, physical media is a thing. Physical media is huge in Japan. It is still like the #1 consumed media and purchased media. So that will always be a thing in Japan. But everywhere else in the world where things are going digital, honestly, I kind of think they want to push you to your phones. I know that sounds crazy, but I think they want to push you to your phones and push you to your PCs because they want to make cloud gaming the number one thing. And with cloud gaming, you could play on anything, right? So imagine if you could play a console game on your phone because you're playing it on the cloud, or if you could play it on your PC because you're playing it on the cloud. Like I feel like that is what they're pushing you to do. They want you on those platforms, more so mobile than anything. Because if they have you on mobile, then that means they have full control over everything. And they already have full control over damn near everything, you know? But cloud gaming is definitely their future. It's where they want you to be. So Mr. Vegeta says mobile games are a joke. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? So mobile games that are designed for mobile are a joke, mostly, right? But imagine a world where on your mobile phone, you could play console games that are not supposedly, you know, a joke. Imagine how that would work. You know, they're living in that world and they want that world to be a thing. That way you don't own anything. They control everything and they could charge you for performance. You know, that's what they really want. They want to be able to charge you for performance. They don't want you to have to worry about getting a beefy computer to be able to run everything native. They want to charge you to be able to play 4K streaming, 4K on the cloud, right? Or 1440p on the cloud. Like they're going to charge you for performance. And if you want to be a pleb and you don't want to pay for performance, where you're going to lose out on fidelity and you're going to lose out on bandwidth priority. And then before you know it, you're going to be forced to have to pay for that too. You're going to have to pay for visual fidelity, and then you're going to have to pay for bandwidth, which kind of goes hand in hand, but still, you know what I mean? So it is a fucking major problem, but that is where they're going. That is where Xbox is going first. Xbox wants to get there first so they could be the you want to call it the originators of it, the whatever term you want to use. That's what they're trying to do. So in any case, let's continue. But yeah, I read that article and I'm like, yep. Premium console, we already know where that's going, boys. We know exactly where that's going. People are saying Aspen, do you have to pay for ammo too? Yeah, I guess so. Remember that? Remember when they tried to make you pay for ammo? Oh my god, dude. I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. They wanted to make you pay for ammo. Bro, what? That's crazy, man. Says Aspen Gold posted a new video of Hassan on clips. Okay, let's check it out. What do we got here? The title of this video is literally Jesus Christ. That's how you know it's going to be good. What do we got?
Clip of Hassan's dog's fish has been uncut. It's actually crazy that this is still going on. And now you have him with the old dog with a cut on his neck.
Oh, wow.
And then he has that thing. I mean, honestly, you know, you don't even really like this. I'm not even trying to look at that, right? I mean, that's sad to see. Even if you are a fan, you got to admit this shit does not look good.
Just for context, this is the same dog.
Motherfucker, come here. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay?
What is this? Hassan asked by a long-term sub to apologize for his mistake.
I'm a Hasanabe head, but why is this so hard for you to apologize that you did your pet wrong, brother, and you're going to do better in the future? It would help you and it would strengthen.
It just doesn't stop.
That is a Hasanabe head. That's like legitimately a long-term community subscriber who seemingly hasn't seen me take accountability for not immediately going over to Kaya to check in on her. Now, if you want me to take accountability for being a dog abuser, well, then that's not accountability. That's just me agreeing to the insane hallucinations.
Apologize for what? God. Leave her alone, chatters. As Ella, it's on me. They bring it up me. Look it up on Twitch.
Of course they're gonna blame Asmongold. Why would they not blame Asmongold? He's always the one they blame. He's the easy target for a lot of these people.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of followers. People have been very angry at him. Oh, what is this?
Shot my dog. I can't stand.
No, stop. Did they finish the video? Oh no, stop. Oh my God, bro.
Shock, 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 shock my dog, I can't stand. Shock, 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 shock my dog, I can't stop. Shock, shock, shock. 2,000 volts straight in her top.
What?
Cause my dog can't stay in her spot. Shock, shock, shock. Why she act like such a baby?
Oh my God, bro. What is this? Oh my God. Bro. Why is this unironically a decent sounding song? Why is that a decent sounding song, bro? Oh my God, this is fucking insane. No wonder he wants to quit. Peaches and Cream says, I sent you that video. Oh, I gotta watch the whole thing. Dude, like, why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised he wants to fucking quit streaming? Of course not, bro. This is the most legendary meme, like, of all time. It's the most legendary meme of all time at this point. We, like, you guys understand we have to watch the whole thing now, right? Like, we have to watch the whole thing. Like, Asmongold's video is done, but there's no way I'm not watching his video. I saw the first part of it. I only saw like a 20-second clip of this, Will. I didn't see the full thing. We have to see the whole thing.
Shock, 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 shock my dog, I can't stand.
Lucha Marks generated this shit.
Oh my God.
Shock, 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 shock my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shock, 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 shock my dog until she drops. Shock,
Oh my God.
2,000 volts straight in her top.
2,000 volts straight into her top is crazy, bro. Crazy. Oh my God.
Shock, 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 cause my dog can't stay in her spot. Yeah, shock, shock, shock. Got this remote on me like in my glove.
Holy shit. This is absolute insanity. This is insanity.
If Kaya tried to move, she had a love. She better know I don't give a fuck. She's getting off her place, she's getting strong. Gotta stay in that little place for 8 hours.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna link the video after this. Don't worry, I got you guys. I'm gonna link it after. Dude, I can't, bro. The fucking I-beams and everything, the timing on this. Oh man.
She getting up, I can't allow her. She's my Palestine, I got the power.
She's my Palestine, I got the power. Oh no. Oh my God.
I'm in my electric ivory tower. Why she act like such a baby? When I shock her, she go crazy. Making me look bad on the screen. Gonna hit her with my power beam.
Man, guys, I gotta be honest with you. This is what AI was made for. Like, this is why AI exists. AI exists to bring us content like this. Genuinely. Like, this is AI being used for the betterment of humanity. You know, I feel like humanity is now better because this song exists. IMO.
I don't know why that stupid dog yelp. She should know better not to call for help. Cause you already know where my stream is. I do some shit that would get me banned.
But the sad shit is that you never get banned, man. Fucking Hassan, dude. Fucking Hassan, man. I do some shit that would get me banned, but the truth is that he never gets banned. Very rarely. And when he does, it's for one day on his day off. That's crazy.
Don't you know how much money I spent? That dog costs more than your mama rent.
Oh, that dog costs more than your mama's rent. Oh man, how we feeling about that, chat? How we feel? How we feeling?
I got the most expensive breed. You know that's the one I need. That stupid dog is so spoiled. Yeah, one more time she getting boiled.
One more? No. 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 Oh no. Oh no, Yelp one more time. She's getting boiled. Oh no. Don't do that. Holy shit, bro. AC Macho Man, bro, for God's sakes, can you let the video play? Macho Man, let me ask you a question, bro. Do you have a YouTube channel by chance? We'll pause the stream for the answer. We'll wait for the answer. So we're just gonna wait really quick for Macho Man, really quick. We're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Do you have a YouTube channel by chance? Waiting. See if we get an answer. No. Okay, Macho Man says no. Okay. All right. So I kind of already knew the answer to that question. So the reason why we don't just, for the love of God, bro, let the video play through. The reason why we don't do that is because then we end up with something called a copyright strike, right? And a copyright strike can damage a YouTube channel because that would allow the person to take down the video that is clearly not being utilized in fair use by just letting the entire thing play out, right? So the reason why we pause videos like this and we commentate and we laugh at it and we say certain things is to avoid that pesky thing called copyright by utilizing that pesky thing called fair use. So that's why we pause it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So that we can transform the content. Does that make sense? Honestly, didn't think the dude would do that to you. So here's the thing, though. Number one, why would you risk your YouTube channel on the premise that somebody would not copy strike you? Do you think the world is nice? Are you older or are you younger? Because maybe it's me being older, but here I'm gonna teach you something, right? Never trust anybody, right? Never trust anybody when it comes to YouTube. So why would I leave my channel up for attack against someone who could take it down? Why would I do that? That's kind of dumb, right? Me having this conversation with you right now before the video has completed allows me to transform it even more. So you're actually helping me. You ignored his last message. Oh, I must have missed it because I'm sorry, Taylor. My chat moves extremely quickly. Read up. Oh, Taylor. Okay, read up. Read up. Are you like Macho's best friend or something, Taylor? Are you Macho's best friend or something? So again, it's all about not letting people take advantage of that. And not only that, you don't have to be the channel who created the content to be the one to strike the content. Just another FYI, you know? Dang, bro, I said I understand. Real talk, don't roast me here. No, I'm not roasting you. I'm helping you understand and everybody else in the chat understand. In case anybody else asks this question in the future, hopefully the almost 600 people that are watching right now will be able to see this information and understand why people pause videos that they're reacting to, especially pause them often, right? So other YouTube channels have the ability to strike your channel without any proof that they actually own the content. This is why false copyright strikes are a thing, right? False copyright strikes are a thing. It's something that I've dealt with many times, something that I've even gotten lawyers involved in, which some of you guys know, some of you don't know. But I've gotten lawyers involved to remove false copyright strikes on my channel. They were very effective, but, you know, they took a couple of weeks to get taken off. But that's it, right? So anyway, only a couple more seconds on the video. Here we go.
Yeah, one more time, she getting boiled. Moving with my dog to China. I'll eat her up, goodbye to Kaya.
Oh my God, it somehow got worse, bro. Oh my God, it somehow got worse. So first you said you would boil her up. Then you said you're moving to China. And then you're going to eat up and say goodbye to Kaya. Oh my God. Oh my God, that last line, bro. What the fuck? Whoa. All right, I'm going to link this video in the chat. I'm going to link this video in the chat right now, bro. Holy shit. Go support this video right now. You know, you could tell them where you saw it from. Here, I'm linking it in YouTube and on Rumble. But this is what, bro, this is what AI was made for. I don't care what anyone says. This is what AI was made for. Absolutely brutal. Brutal. And this is going to go up on Hypnotic Gaming Live because I liked it so much. Holy shit. Fully transformed, by the way. Thanks to Macho Man. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate that. All right, let's get into the next topic, and then we're going to catch up on some super chats and then finish up the main topics. We're moving along, boys. We're moving along. We're moving along. Let's talk about Leon really quick. Word to Paradise. Gay boy himself, right? So, Words of Paradise decided to make a very long post. A very, 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 very long post, right? And I gotta be honest with you. Very nicely done. Nicely done, right? He made a post talking about a particular manga that is being astroturfed by the mainstream industry, the mainstream manga industry, right? It's about a manga that is based around a protagonist that is mixed race in Japan and faces daily trials of racism, microaggressions, and otherness, right? A journey of resilience, hope, and the search for coexistence. Half is More, Volume 1 by Yoko Fujimi releases summer of 2026, right? So it's so funny. I didn't even see this, which is odd because I actually follow Viz Media on Hypnotic manga, and I also on Instagram too. So maybe they didn't post on Instagram, but I didn't see it. So I saw this picture here, and I'm like, huh. This sounds very not Japanese, right? This sounds very not Japanese. It sounds like something that is being inorganically pushed, if I do say so myself, right? Now, people are going to say, well, it's a Japanese person that, you know, drew this or wrote and draw this. Is it a by Yoko Fujimi? Is it written and drawn by Fujimi, or is it just drawn by Fujimi? I can't tell. Regardless, most likely it's written and drawn because normally that's how it goes. So I was going to read into this some more, but Words of Paradise kind of broke it down really nicely. And he says the following: there's been a lot of talk about this announcement and whether or not it's woke or DEI manga. I want to just mention something really quick, okay? For the people that don't read manga, I want to mention something really quick. When it comes to manga, okay? And I don't know if anime follows the same tropes because, to be honest, I don't watch that much anime. I focus completely on manga, okay? That's just my thing. Now, when it comes to manga, manga has a lot of situations in it, a lot of storyline in it, a lot of let's just say things in it that some Westerners would consider to be DEI woke or whatever. Not so much from the racial standpoint, but more so from the sexuality standpoint. There is a lot of that, right? In some manga. Most of the time they're treated as jokes, and most of the time they are not ham-fisted. They're not like throwing it in your face. They're not talking to you about pronouns. They're not talking to you about any of that. But obviously, there's a lot of gay characters that run around in some mangas and whatnot. But it never feels forced. It never feels like it's being a lecture to you. It never feels like you're sitting in a room with a bunch of blue-haired writers trying to tell you how amazing they are and how right they are. You know what I mean? But it's definitely there. You know, it's definitely there. So, unfortunately, when certain Westerners find that out, they disingenuously represent it, and they try to say, well, Japan is super woke. You know what I mean? Or like Japan is super gay, or Japan is super whatever. They try to misrepresent it, okay? And the reason why they do that is because these people have unfortunately co-opted the anime and manga community. And whenever they co-opt something, they're constantly looking for validity. Constantly. Like they're always looking for some form of validation through the work they are consuming. And if they don't find that validation, they move on to something that they can find that validation. And even if it's something as small as sexuality, they're gonna do it, right? So this is why we have people that look at otakonoko characters, which are basically femboys or men who dress as women, but will tell you they are men and will acknowledge they are men and they are not transitioning to become a woman. You will see Westerners take that information and say, this is trans representation, and try to claim it's the same thing, right? So this is why it happens. This is why localizers will translate disingenuously characters like that and turn them into trans characters when they never were, right? So with all that context being said, okay, with all that context being shown, this is not surprising, okay? This is not surprising in the slightest. Half is More, the Japanese title, is romanized as Hanban Koyadai and is published on TorchWeb. TorchWeb is a digital manga site owned by Lead Publishing Co. TorchWeb describes itself as a space for alternative expression and manga that explores mature, philosophical, and unconventional themes, covering topics like daily life, relationships, art, aging, and social issues. Some would consider this a red flag, though that's just the beginning, right? Sales data first serialized starting on June 29th of 2022 and did not get any physical release of Volume 1 until March 28, 2025. There was never any publicly disclosed sales data, digital or physical. Instead, we have to rely on Oricon. For those that don't know, Oricon is a major Japanese company that tracks and publishes music, manga, and entertainment sales charts. Oricon tracks weekly manga charts by volume, as well as yearly sales rankings, both digital and physical. Half is More has never once charted with Oricon, which means one can reasonably assume it didn't sell well at all in its native language and market. So, again, basically, this book did not sell well in Japan. That's like the short, sweet version of it. In reference to other digital storefronts and tracking, it also never cracked eBook Japan's monthly top sellers. It did get recognized in the award circuit. Specifically, it won Korea. This translates to Korea Night Owl Manga Award, an arbitrary award for late night reads, the sort of indie hipster stories that you would expect at the artsy upper class scene. These award ceremonies and rankings are funded by Korea themselves, with Korea just being an online lifestyle magazine. This is where it gets interesting. Obviously, winning an award like that at will, or it will at the very least, boost visibility, though there is nothing to indicate sales increased after winning the award. But when you look into Korea and where their funding comics come from, one of the big names that come up is Cool Japan Fund, which is a Japanese government-supported fund for creative content. Now, again, just keep listening, because this is where it's going to get interesting. The Cool Japan Fund is a public-private investment fund and touts pro-ESG stances. In fact, on the Cool Japan Fund website, under news, there is a section dated on May 30th, 2025, that says it published a DE&I promotion policy and harassment prevention policy. What this means is that while the manga itself may not be being made or funded for the explicit reason for promoting woke or DEI sensibilities, the AstroTurf buzz behind it from third parties absolutely is. So basically, what's happening here is that a certain ESG-focused group or investment group or whatever has discovered this manga and has now decided to take this manga and AstroTurf it and turn it into a message in the West. That is what I'm taking from this, and that is what I understand from this, okay? As for Viz Media's involvement in the localization Western distribution, Viz is owned by Japanese publishers Shogakukan Inc. and Shueisha Inc. So the next step was to see if BlackRock or any other usual suspects in terms of DEI investment companies had any stakes in Viz, Shogakukan, or Shuichi? And the answer is yes, Marubeni Corporation. Now, around a year ago, I did a video about Marubeni Corporation, how they are a Japanese DEI investment firm, similar to BlackRock and the like in the West, and how they are heavily investing in manga and anime. So how are they related? Well, Marubeni Corporation started a joint venture with Shogakukan and Shuichi in 2022 and has a 34% stake in the venture. So yes, there are ties to DEI investments in the Western release of this manga, and is being localized and distributed by Viz's parent company, who do have ties to at least one DEI investment firm. So, with all this being said, right? Yeah, this is the longest tweet I've ever seen from Leon, like ever. With all this being said, what this is that this is a story that most likely is not something that is necessarily woke in its nature per se, although it could be, because there are liberals in Japan. Obviously, there are stories like that in Japan. However, the story obviously fell completely flat in its native land, and it flopped. Right, it flopped massively. So the question is now the following: with all the mangas that are not being serialized, that are looking to be serialized or be published by Viz, out of all the mangas that are looking to be published by Viz, how is it that this manga that completely fucking flopped in its native land, how is this getting a massive AstroTurf by Viz Media right now, where it's getting its own posts and everything? How is this getting translated and pushed in the West, but there are other mangas and animes that are way more successful that are not being pushed in the West? Look how long it took for the manga Kingdom to get an English release. I just now got early access to volume number 1 of Kingdom. Okay, I have it. It's in my collection. That manga has been out for ages. Okay, it's got like over 70 volumes of history, and it's just now, after being super popular, one of the most popular mangas, it is just now getting an English release. But this one just magically gets an English release after flopping miserably in Japan. How is that possible, right? It just begs the question. So this is more about astroturfing than it is about ESG, DEI, any of that stuff, although it all kind of goes hand in hand. But this seems like it's intentional, in my opinion, because they believe that this is going to be big in our market. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking this is going to be big in our particular market. So they're translating it, and they're hoping that it's going to be, a major success. I'm here to tell you that it's probably not going to be. Like, just flat out. It's not going. I don't think it's going to be, me personally. But again, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. But that's what it seems like they're doing, right? So Leon says, at the end of the day, here's a short version. A niche manga that didn't sell well, wasn't heavily marketed, and who only claim to fame is winning an award funded by pro ESG DEI government-funded magazines, is now getting a Western release funded by a company that has ties to pro ESG and DEI investment corporations in Japan. And then he says, you're all welcome, and you don't deserve me. Of course, Leon's going to say that. So this is a great post by Leon. Fantastic. It is going pretty decent. 20,000 views right now, 2,600 likes. Fantastic. And this is just another example of this kind of mindset, unfortunately, being pushed here, even though it's failing in its native land. And then they'll try to tell you, oh, but the Japanese love this stuff, because that's what's going to happen, right? When they push this manga out in the West, they're going to try to convince everybody that this is loved in Japan. So again, it's so ridiculous, but this is where we're at. So great post, Leon. I wanted to make sure I cover it because he covers my videos a lot. And this is something that was very, very good post. Very well done. And I appreciate it. As a manga enthusiast, I appreciate it. I can't wait to see the people who say, you don't buy manga. You don't read manga. You're grifter. You're a liar. Suck a dick. Anyway, let's catch up on super chats because we're getting felted right now. And then we're going to get into the main topics. But I think we got more than that. We got other fast topics too. Reminder that Toxin is very gay. For saying he wanted to lock eyes with me. Just a reminder, okay? Tanya Raven for a 2. When are we going to see Hypnotic jump in the pool, huh? Never. Right. So like, you know, some people like to get super chats to you know, physically hurt themselves or whatever, or risk themselves. I'm good. I like to get super chats for being somewhat entertaining, or at least in the hopes of being entertaining and informative. And that's all I care about, personally, to try to be entertaining. Anubis Hentai Hades with a 2. She touches the pumpkin. What you gonna do?
Do not touch the fucking pumpkin.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Open 830 for a 5. AI generated art is something I'm completely against. AI as a tool for someone's job makes more sense than completely replacing employees. Yeah, I mean, listen, we have fun. Like, I have fun with AI, right? But I'm one man. I'm one guy, right? So I'm a one-man team. I'm not fucking like all these other major channels that are in our space that have 5 to 10 people working for them and some shit. Like, I'm a one-man crew, right? So I use AI to bring entertainment to people because I can't hire someone to do it, right? Nor do I trust someone to do it. So I use it as a joke, right? I use it as, you know, just for the funnies. But aside from that, AI in terms of a product where you're trying to sell it for money, I feel like that's something a little bit different. You know, if you use it as a tool to help you, sure. But if you use it as the only thing, then that's a problem for a lot of people. So I understand what you're saying. Report AFK with a 10. The next big console change will be Nintendo Switch S that you can use on TV or remove the Joy-Cons and use them with a VR headset. Nice. Most likely. You are most likely correct, yes. Thank you so much, Report AFK. Melodic Method with a 10 membership megabit.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to Melodic Method. Thank you so much for the absolutely insane 10 membership banger, bro. I appreciate that, man. Legendary. And then we got Report AFK with a 10. You have to search Shock Value Hassan and watch that music video. Oh, well, we just did. So there you go. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. Well, the fans with a 50. Great meme, but ain't no such thing as good R&B, LOL. Listen, man, I'm just saying it's hilarious, okay? It was actually semi-decent, especially for AI. But I think the only reason why I thought it was decent is because it was funny. So there's that. Macho Man became a member. Totally unnecessary. Totally. He must think I was like purposely targeted. Bro, I just utilized your chat as a moment to educate the chat. That's all, bro. You didn't have to become a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But again, it's all good. Will the fans with a 50? Okama equals gay and transvestite. Japan doesn't know trans plus, basically. But again, so we know that, right? The localizers know that, but they know that the people who are mostly tourists to the scene that are just getting their feet wet with anime and manga, that they don't know that. So they're taking advantage of those people's ignorance and choosing to change it in the localization so that when it gets in the hands of readers, people are going to think, oh, that's a trans character. When it's not, you know? Whenever I'm reading manga and I see something that's even remotely looking like that, what I do is I go back to the Japanese version and I see what the real translation is. And 9 out of 10 times, it's not what I just read. And the truth is that the localizers do a great job when it comes to the regular story. But when it comes to anything that's ideologically based, they're going to most likely change it. And that's the stuff you got to look out for. Will the fans with a 125? Asia's the last bastion versus the woke. Hold the line. Say what you like about Leon. But his fingers on the pulse for here for sure. You all know what to do. Shout out, man. I appreciate that. Skeg with a $10 super sticker. Thank you, Skeg. I appreciate that, man. Report AFK with a 5. No, there's a different Hassan Shock Collar song. Search Shock Value Hassan. Oh, my God. All right, maybe we'll look at that tomorrow because, again, that video, I wasn't expecting to react to that, so that kind of took up a segment, and I'm trying to catch up here. It's getting late, but remind me tomorrow. I will definitely take a look at it. 100%. All right, let's go over the Rumble really quick. Rumble, you awake? Let's see. Is Rumble awake? Let's see. I think it is. Yeah. Adam Jibba with $1. Harry Sisson is worse than Booty Adams. He does the walk with Don Lemon. How gay do you have to be to do a TikTok walk with Don Lemon? Pretty fucking gay, I'd imagine. Toronto with $1. The next Xbox will be for elites only. I'm telling you, man, Randy Pitchford all over again. All over again. It's an elite system for elite gamers. Or what is it? What is it? Premium? It's a premium console for premium gamers. There you go. There you go. That's what they're gonna say. It's so stupid. All right, we are fully caught up on everything. Thank you guys again for the insane support. I think we're like 130, 140 away from tier 1, something like that. I don't know. Anti-Federalist Pain on Rumble with a 5. Rumble lives. Shout out, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. All right, let's X out Leon's post. And we're going to save the Palworld story for a main topic. Really fast topics, boys. Sinking City 2. If you guys are a fan of Sinking City 2, if you guys are a fan of Sinking City or The Sinking City, it's going to be, the sequel is going to be delayed into 2026. And the reason why it's being delayed is because they're blaming the war in Ukraine. But not just that. Apparently, making a survival horror game requires a completely different kind of design thinking than adventure games, right? And that definitely makes development slower. So when I read stuff like this, I got to be honest with you guys. Sure, I got to imagine making a video game when your country is at war is probably not that easy. However, the fact that you're still able to make a video game tells me that the war can't be that bad. And maybe I'm ignorant. But it sounds to me that you are utilizing the war as an excuse for why you fell behind on development. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only one getting that, getting that feeling, perhaps. Or maybe the money ran out, right? Maybe all that extra money that you were getting as part of government grants, because what's his name? Zelensky was fucking spreading out the billions and billions and billions of dollars that he got from the government. Like, from the U.S. government. I feel as if this is an excuse, right? Especially when you try to do this whole story of like, oh, it's hard. It's hard. Like, okay, it's hard. Who cares? Other game developers have been able to make games that are harder than that. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I just find that to be a little bit odd. Anyway, moving on. So, Ukrainian developer Frogware says that it will start showing off more Sinking City 2 gameplay. Right? It probably was sarcastic. That's why I responded in sarcasm. But even if it wasn't, I was still going to respond the same way anyway. Of course. Says it will start showing off more Sinking City 2 gameplay in the next few months, but it's not going to make the game the hoped for 2025 release. Frogware's announced a Sinking City 2 in 2024 with a bizarre teaser, building an overshift to survival horror and a 2025 release target. Today, however, the studio said it needs more time and has thus pushed the game's release into 2026. So here's what I think happened. And again, maybe I'm crazy, but here's what I think happened. I think that due to the shift to survival horror, I think they weren't ready for it. I think they didn't have the level of experience necessary to make it happen. And I think that has resulted in them, unfortunately, having to delay the game in order to make up for the time that they lost because they just didn't have the means or ability to do it, right? Because if they're shifting their entire game design to something more like survival horror, then obviously there are some challenges that will come from, from people who don't have, experience in doing it. So, but to blame the war in Ukraine now more than ever, I feel like is really, really stupid. The reason for the delay is twofold. First and foremost, Frogwares is a Ukrainian studio, and Ukraine is still fighting off the Russian invasion that began in 2014 and exploded into full-scale war in 2022. Guys, like, I want you to understand something, right? These journalists, they love to virtue signal. Imagine the story that they're painting for you, right? Imagine the story I don't even think they imagine the story they're painting for you. So think about this. They're trying to convince you that Ukraine is in a full-scale war. And it might be. It might be. All-out battle, right? It's Battlefield in that bitch. That's what they're trying to convince you. And yet somehow, some way, people are able to go to an office job and in the comforts of their office work on a video game. So if you're making a video game, I'm going to just flat out say, and maybe I'm wrong, but if you're making a video game, then I think it's safe to say that it's not full-scale war, right? I feel like using the term full-scale war is extremely disingenuous because when you have full-scale war, then it's all hands on deck. That means the entire country is pulling all resources, like in World War II, for example, to survive the conflict and to become the winner. Like that is what full-scale war looks like. Full-scale war doesn't look like, oh yeah, we're making video games while this happens. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think there is a little bit of disingenuous nature to that. But perhaps that's me, right? InfoWarrior says, by the way, Hypnotic's pinned message completely ruins the chat here on the web mobile version of Rumble. It occupies too much space on the screen. Is it gone now? Can't you hit the disappear button? Can't you hit like the button that shows like it's like an eyeball and make it disappear? So in any case, this is the reason why they're blaming the game for being delayed. So I just wanted to share that with you. Moving on. Battlefield 6 nerf is official. It is official. We talked about this the other day. So what's up, Smash JT? I saw you donated $20. That must have been very, very difficult for you, considering you've had 2 nights in a row where you have, what was it, like $10,000, something like that? I appreciate the 20, bro. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to go over that in a second. Give me a second. I'm going to call you out specifically because we love you so much here, man. We love you. We love you, Smash. I'm so proud of him. He beat Silksong. It only took about 67 streams, but he beat Silksong. It's amazing. Battlefield 6 officially nerfs XP farming servers into the ground, draining them of nearly all experience. Now, we knew that this was going to happen. Schizo says Smash JT makes more than you. You sure? We knew this was going to happen, right? Because what was happening is that they nerfed experience into the ground, right? They nerfed experience into the ground because there was XP farming servers with Portal content that was in the game, right? Portal created content. This was nerfed into the ground because people were going crazy and they were making these like Portal levels or whatever that was allowing them to farm experience over and over and over again. So, unfortunately, though, this is going to coincide with another. It's going to coincide with another nerf, which is they're nerfing the amount of experience that you need to actually level up, and they're nerfing the amount of experience that you need to like gain attachments and stuff like that. We talked about that yesterday, and apparently that's becoming it's definitely going to happen, like 100%. I know some people were upset about that. I know some people were complaining about that, myself included. Like, obviously, it's not a make or break thing for me, but it does suck that they're doing that because Battlefield always had a longer leveling system. It was never about fucking leveling up quickly and prestiging and all that stuff. Like, that's not what Battlefield was. But it seems like they're doing that. It seems like they're doing that. Jeremiah Maxwell said the jumping dude in your last game was cheap. Oh, fucking what was his name? Kim Jong-un or whatever. Yeah, so we had a cheater. Dormant Sight says, did they ever fix a targeting bug? I think they did. I was destroying people with the shotgun. we had a cheater that was in our game when me and Sheep Sitting were playing. He had a bot that was running. It was a jumping bot. Basically, it was an anti-AFK bot. And what it was doing was getting him put into video games, getting him put into games, and then allowing him to never go AFK and get kicked out so he could get the experience for winning or losing the match. And that was basically it. It was an XP farming bot. And I'm like, what? We seriously doing this in 2025? Really? It's crazy, bro. I remember seeing these ages ago. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on too. So yeah, I just wanted to follow up on this story since you guys realize this is a thing. Let's move on really quick. Payday 3 is an absolute shit show. It's a shit show so much because apparently they are going to be passing off, right? Starbreeze is handing off Payday to another developer as it goes all in on trying to salvage the beleaguered Payday 3. So Payday 2 is being handed off to be maintained while Starbreeze tries to work on Payday 3 because Payday 3 is in such a shit show that they're trying to salvage the game instead of obviously canceling it. So, I mean, the good thing is that the original developers are going to work on Payday 3, but the bad thing is that if you're a Payday 2 fan, well, your game is now in the hands of somebody completely different, which I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. It seems like they know the Payday 2 engine inside and out, but who really knows at this point? Moving on quickly. Amazon AWS. Remember this? We talked about this yesterday or the day before. So 1/3 of the internet got killed the other night. It was down for a few hours. 1/3 of the internet, thousands of websites were down. There has now been estimates that have been made on the financial impact of the outage, and they are ranging from hundreds of billions of dollars to over $75 million per hour. Per hour. $75 million per hour that the internet was down for those websites. That's how much money was estimated to be lost when the internet went out for a few hours, right? So this kind of just brings us back full circle to the conversation we were having yesterday when I was trying to say that the internet's extremely fragile, right? The internet's very fragile. And when we saw the internet, 1/3 of the internet go down, obviously it didn't affect everybody, but it affected a lot of people, so much so that 75 million per hour is on the low side of the estimates. That is fucking crazy. That is like, I can't even explain the level of money that is, you know, which is another reason why you should not have all your eggs in one basket, right? When you put Amazon as Amazon owns about 30% of the internet with their servers in terms of traffic and whatnot. They own a large portion of the internet. Google is the second highest, right? Google's the second highest. These guys own a vast majority of the internet. It's unfair the level of the internet they actually own. So to see that go down and to see 1/3 of the internet get knocked down for a few hours and to lose this level of money is insane to me. And it just shows that there needs to be other options. The internet needs to be spread out, because if the internet consolidates even more than it already is, that is way too fragile for my liking, in my opinion. Way too fragile for my liking. So, Report AFK says Azure sucks. Clarking says Azure is the second Hypnotic. Well, there you go. So, Peaches says probably why my Apple Music wouldn't play. Yeah, I think Apple Music was taken down. So, it's crazy, man. I saw this number and I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Because, you know, you think about the internet being down for a few hours and you're like, okay, it doesn't sound too bad. But when you think about the financial impact of what those few hours meant, then you realize just how bad it actually was. And it's bad. It's really bad. Okay, now we're going to get into the main topics, ladies and gentlemen. Let's finish up on the last couple of super chats. We got this fucking guy right here who probably left the stream already. Oh, that means, oh, he left the stream? Hold on.
Stop it. Get some help.
Good job, Daddy, not going on that incel show. I'm going to buy you that Switch too now.
That means I could play anything for his clip and he won't know. Smash JT for a 20 says, jump in the pool. Nope, I'm good, Smash. I'm going to leave that up to you and your two very particular donators that for some reason love to see you do things that hurt you and your channel. It's very odd. It's very weird. But have at it, man. All the money in the world. Keep going for it. Keep going for it. Thank you, Smash, for the 20. I appreciate that, bro. We got Anubis Hentai Hades with a 2. She's tempted a pumpkin. Can't stop her, can you?
Do not touch the fucking pumpkin.
Bro, somebody needs to take AI away from Hentai Hades, bro. This man comes up with a new profile picture every time he donates. What the fuck? Demon Carrot with a 5. Who the fuck cares about the Pallies? Can't wait for the waifu battle. Shout out Demon Carrot. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. We're going to get to the waifu battle soon. Soon. We just need to cover the main topic or one of the main topics. And we'll be good. All right, let me set up really quick because I forgot to do that beforehand because I was super busy. Let's set up really quick. We're going to talk about Palworld. Good old Palworld. I might make another Don't Touch the Pumpkin clip. I feel like it would be really funny to do it, personally. Anubis Hades says, Hypnotic, I've made over 3,000 to 4,000 images. 3,000 to 4,000 images? What the fuck? Somebody save this man. Somebody save this man. Holy shit. Tanya Raven with a 2. Hypnotic, use your skills to make an AI pool jump. Shout out. Not a bad idea, Tanya Raven, actually. Not a bad idea. I might have to do that. Sonia says, I've made 3,000 to 4,000 songs. Oh my God, Sonia. Bro, you guys are... Holy shit. Oh my God. I thought me having like 100 AI clips was a lot. I don't even know why I made the clips. We don't get red boys like Smash very often. So I haven't been... Although last night we had 2 during the waifu battle. That was big. That was big, so... We were able to play the brand new Elf Girls, which everybody loved. I hope anyway. Let's talk about Palworld. Let's talk about Palworld, boys. This is very important. So, just some context. I know people. Well, the fan says I made hundreds of clips. God damn, bro! Like, do you guys? Holy shit, man. How did the Don't Touch the Pumpkin lore start? I don't know. I just started saying it one day. And it just became lore. That's how it goes on this channel. Sometimes you just randomly say something, and the next thing you know, it's lore. So Palworld has gotten accused of using AI, obviously. And I don't know if there's been any actual proof of that. But I know people have accused Palworld of using AI. But they've come out and made a statement that I found to be very interesting, very, very anti-AI. And considering that we are living in a world where generative AI has taken over more and more and more, I find this interesting that one of the companies that had one of the biggest successes out there is so against AI. So, we'll see how that goes. What am I, DSP? No, not even close. I actually try to be entertaining. There's a big difference. So let's start this video and see what we got going on with Palworld, and then we're going to cover the VTuber stuff that's happening with good old Twitch, which is very important. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Palworld. Now, Palworld Studios Pocket Pair, which, by the way, if you guys are unaware, Pocket Pair has gone into publishing video games, right? They published Abubakar Salim's recent video game, Dead Take. They're trying to get their feet wet with publishing other people's video games. Apparently, they've come out and they've made a statement here that I find to be extremely interesting. You have an article here from PC Gamer that says the following. Palworld Studio Pocket Pair says that its new publishing division won't handle games that use generative AI and says that we don't believe in it. Now, I know a lot of people have accused Palworld of potentially using AI. I haven't personally seen anything that shows that they use AI. If anybody has any proof of that that's definitive, I would love to see it. But as of right now, I haven't verified any of that. But it seems like they're heavily against AI, and we're going to talk about why in a second. This message comes to us from John Buckley, who is one of the bosses there over at Pocket Pair Publishing, and he says we're already starting to see a flood of really low quality AI-made video games on Steam and other storefronts. Now, obviously, that's not going to be a lie. You know, Steam, the good and the bad thing about Steam is that Steam would be the place where they will allow pretty much anything to go on the platform as long as it was safe and not illegal. Obviously, things have changed ever since the whole payment processor debacle that happened with MasterCard and Visa enacting censorship on Steam and itch.io and all these other platforms. More so Steam than anything, because Steam is a private company and they wanted to make Steam bend the knee, and they did. But relatively speaking, compared to other platforms, Steam is still the platform where the majority of games can indeed go, as long as they don't, go against the TOS that has been made now recently. But when you have that level of openness, that also brings a level of slop with that, right? So naturally, there's going to be games that realistically are just complete shit, right? And they're mostly AI made, or if not all AI made, and you can see them from a mile away. They usually cost like $1.99 or something stupid like that. And they're going to hope to try to get anybody to buy their game, whether it's a serious purchase or whether it's a troll purchase. They're hoping somebody will do it to try to make any dollars they possibly can from AI that didn't really cost them anything, right? Now, with all this being said, Palworld speaking out against this AI is actually very interesting to me, because a lot of companies in the gaming industry are trying to move towards AI. Microsoft fired thousands upon thousands of people and replaced them essentially with AI. Other studios have done the same exact thing and have replaced people with AI. So to see Palworld seemingly come out against it, come out against something that, honestly, in my opinion, you kind of can't avoid. I feel like AI is 100% going to take over the industry within the next 5 years or less. It's only a matter of time. So I would be very curious to see how Palworld, publishing or whatever, Pocket Pair Publishing, how are they going to fight against this? I'll be very curious. But let's hear it from his own mouth. So Palworld developer Pocket Pair kicked off 2025 by launching a publishing division and was immediately swamped with interest. It received more than 150 pitches for publishing deals in the first week alone. Pocket Pair Publishing boss John Buckley said at the time that the new division will respect the autonomy and vision of developers and work together to make great games for people all over the world. But it turns out that there is one kind of vision that the company isn't interested in, the kind that relies on generative AI. Now, if they really did get over 150 pitches, I got to imagine why they decided to take Dead Take from Abubakar Salim and Surgeon Studios. It must have been a really good pitch. Now, I had a decent time with Dead Take. I didn't think it was a bad game at all, but I got to imagine there was probably other games within that 150 pitches that could have been a good game too. Perhaps we haven't seen it yet. Maybe they're still working with those studios. Who really knows? People are going to say I'm lying, but these are just the hard facts. Buckley said in a new interview with Game Developer, "We don't believe in it. We're very upfront about it. If you're big on AI stuff, or your game is Web3 or uses NFTs, there are a lot of publishers out there who will talk to you, but we're not the right partner for that." Buckley isn't laboring under the assumption that Pocket Pair can stem the onrushing tide of AI-powered games, and predicted that the next few years will see a big uptick of really low-quality AI-made games, something he says is already happening on Steam. Okay, so at least now we have an understanding, right? Because I said the same thing before I even read this, and now he's repeating the same exact thing. Within the next few years, AI is going to take over the gaming industry. There's no doubt about that. And there's going to be an immense amount of video games that are made strictly with AI that are going to flood the market. So I'm glad he said this, and I'm glad he's aware of this, and I'm glad he acknowledges that this is still going to be a thing, whether he wants to partake in it or not. It's something that has plagued other stores, but Steam has been good at keeping them out. But it's happening, Buckley said. This wave is coming, and I think we're going to enter this kind of authenticity market where people are going to slowly say, no, these guys are really trying to make something special to fight back. The sad thing is that there's going to be so much AI games that are going to be on the market that the moment somebody makes an authentic video game from scratch like they used to, what's going to be considered the old ways in a couple of years from now, those are the video games that are going to stand out. Those are the video games that are going to get the attention. Just like right now, indie games are getting attention because AAA has become essentially slop for the most part, and there's very few AAA games that really stand out to make people want to play them. I think this is going to be the new indie in a few years from now. Authentic video games made from people that actually have a passion for it and that try hard when making the video game and design everything themselves. Those are going to be the games that stand out, and the AI video games are going to become the new AAA slot, in my opinion anyway. And the sad thing is you're still going to have AAA slop on top of that anyway. That he thinks will result in consumers trying to suss out which games are machine generated and which are made by actual humans, a process that would inevitably lead to some false positives and mistaken accusations. I wonder if there's going to be, I don't know if there is, but I wonder if on Steam there is a toggle that the developer has to select if they made the game with AI. Right. I remember there is a toggle that they can select, or they have to select, if the game has some AI in it. Right. If it has some generative AI, I know there's a toggle for it, but I don't know if there's a toggle for it if the entire game is made with generative AI. I don't know if they use the same toggle or if they're going to create something completely different. But I feel like consumers need to be informed about this. I don't think it's right for a game to go on Steam made completely with AI and then be able to be sold as something that potentially was not made with AI. You know, I feel like there has to be some level of distinction there so people understand what they're buying if you want to make it pro-consumer and instead of anti-consumer. But again, that's my opinion on that. So it says that Pocket Pair faced that unpleasant phenomenon back in 2024. When its breakout hit Palworld fell under the microscope, the studio repeatedly tried to convince people that it does not use generative AI in the game, but some just wouldn't believe it, and eventually Pocket Pair had to let it drop. You know, I just can't come out and start fighting with these people who make the AI accusations because that just fuels what's going on, Buckley said. So, like I said earlier in the video, there was accusations against Palworld that haven't been definitively proven. Obviously, they haven't admitted to anything, nor do I think they would. But there hasn't been anything that's been proven that Palworld does use AI. If they do, and you have something, I would love to see it. Other than, oh, this weird creature has 7 fingers, and AI totally did that, and not some designer that wanted to make the creature with 7 fingers. Like, I would need something more definitive than that. But overall, they have tried to deny it since the game came out. They've been getting accused of using AI. So that's why people find it ironic that they're the ones saying they're anti-AI now, and they're not going to work with anybody who uses AI. I just think it's a little bit odd, right? If they truly did use AI, that would be a wild thing to say and do. But to an extent, that resistance to explanations is understandable. Gamers have been wearing AI detective hats for years now, and accusations of generative AI usage quite often prove correct, even when companies forcefully deny it. I mean, look what happened to Call of Duty with the 6-figure zombie Santa. Remember that? I mean, the balls that a company like Microsoft and Activision Blizzard to do with Call of Duty, a franchise that makes insane amount of money, to have a Santa zombie with 6 fingers and then not check it is crazy to me. How could you not check that and let that slide through for people to catch? That is just wild to me. That's just laziness, in my opinion. In early 2024, for instance, Wizards of the Coast absolutely insisted that a Magic the Gathering promotional image was made by humans until it eventually admitted that, whoops, it wasn't, even though the company had committed to not using AI-generated art several months earlier. But that's because it's Wizards of the Coast, right? They're fucking liars to begin with. But by June 2024, it was back on the sauce with a listing for a principal AI engineer job who would be responsible for systems for intelligent generation of text dialogue, audio, art assets, NPC behaviors, and real-time bot frameworks, even though it insisted that our stance on AI hasn't changed. Okay, so they basically lied their asses off. Why is anybody not, like, you shouldn't be shocked by this whatsoever. So what does this mean ultimately? So I think at this point, AI is coming for the industry. I think we can all agree with that. I think we can all admit that. Whether or not it's done properly or not is a whole nother story. You're going to have a lot of people try to utilize AI for bad. You're going to have a lot of people try to utilize AI to save time, save money, right? And you're going to have people utilize AI for the right reasons. Whatever the reason you're utilizing AI, I think the consumer should know. I think the consumer absolutely should 100% know that what they're buying has been made with AI or has AI in it. As long as consumers know that and they want to buy it anyway, then let them buy it. That's fine. Then they're making an informed decision. But if you try to hide that from people, I think that's going to set a bad precedent. And I'm sure it's only a matter of time before they try to set that precedent. So you guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this entire situation with Palworld saying they're against AI and that they're not going to work with anyone who uses generative AI? Do you think they're telling the truth, or do you think this is one massive virtue signal to seem like the one company that is going against AI when everybody else is embracing it? Whatever it may be, leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah, honestly, I think that even though they're fighting AI now, I think in a few years from now, they will 100% be for it. Even if it's at the most simplest level, I think they're fighting it now, but they're going to be for it in a couple of years. Somebody's going to convince them how good it is, and it's going to be a thing. So, all right, let's catch up on the super chats. We got that's insane, bro. I am not showing that. Anubis, you are pressing your luck with those profile pictures, bro. If you're going to keep doing those, I'm not going to show your super chats. I'm just going to read them. Anubis Hentai Hades with a 2. Girl is getting it on with the happy pumpkin. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Luckily, it's small enough so YouTube doesn't, YouTube's not going to really do much, but still. You need to repent. Repent, sir. Report AFK with a 10. They will use AI as a base, but acting like high-quality developers aren't going to use humans for not only editing the generated models to suit what they're doing, but quality assurance as well. Well, so fun fact, I think part of the reason why they have this attitude is because right now they can afford to pay for everybody. Right? They can afford to pay for everybody. Palworld is a massive success. Their budget was very small for Palworld. They're swimming in money right now. Even with the lawsuit, they're swimming in money. The moment they get to the point where money becomes tight, that is when they're probably going to embrace AI, because that's the reason why the other studios are embracing AI. Budgets are extremely high. Money is tight because they've been wasting it for years. I think that is what's going to be a thing. So if Palworld ever gets to a point where they're not swimming in money anymore, if Pocket Pair Publishing ends up not making, money or loses money or whatever, I think that, I think that's when they're going to embrace AI personally, to try to save money, because they're going to have to replace some developers with AI. They're going to have no choice. All right, let's talk about Twitch really quick. Let's see. I don't think there's any videos. All right, we're fully caught up on super chats. I don't think there's anything on Rumble. No. All right. Let's continue. So here we go. Now, Twitch has always had this level of what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Twitch has always had this level of disdain, right? Must we talk about Twitch? Yes, we must talk about Twitch. Twitch has always had this level of disdain for VTubers. It's honestly a little bit weird. And I don't know if it's because the moderation team is angry that the VTubers are taking money and opportunities away from the real women that they all fucked in order to astroturf onto the homepage, right? But I think that this is definitely a level of disdain that comes from the higher ups. So we're going to talk about how Twitch apparently not only is having some security problems, not only is having some accidents happen, but is also apparently screwing over VTubers. They doxed one of the VTubers at Twitch, number one. And number two, they also magically somehow lost all the gifts that the VTubers got at the show. The VTubers ended up getting gifts that were given to them from fans, and Twitch was collaborating all the gifts, and then somehow they're gone. Just magically gone. How does that work, right? So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. See what we got going on here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Twitch. Now, the reason why we're talking about Twitch again is because, well, Twitch is taking so many L's, I can't even keep track at this point. Twitch has decided that it's in their best interest to have some weird disdain against VTubers, and I really don't know what the situation is, to be honest with you. There are a lot of people that are coming out right now speaking out against Twitch and how they're handling TwitchCon. I know for a fact one of the VTubers over at Twitch actually got doxxed by Twitch because they forced her to take her mask off in order to verify who she was. I'm not kidding. They made her take off her facial disguise so that she could verify who she is and all of that. I mean, you would think that they would have some level of security for situations like this where they could probably verify behind closed doors or something like that. Maybe not out in the public in front of everybody, but regardless, you know, this is what they decided to do. So we have a post here from, it says Nero here on X, and it says Twitch staff cut a meet and greet with popular VTuber Chibidoki short and blamed her for it, despite Twitch staff being the one who cut it short. Instead of adding more security or doing something productive, they're just ruining the experience for fans who attend. So apparently, one of the biggest problems right now is Chibidoki. Apparently, her line that she had, her meet and greet, Twitch forced her to cut it short for security reasons, right? Because the line was getting too long. Apparently, she was too popular, right? I guarantee you they wouldn't have done that with Emiru if the whole situation didn't happen with her and that psycho that ran up to her, right? I guarantee you the line could have got as long as they wanted and nobody would have cared. But when it comes to a VTuber, oh, no, we can't have them looking, you know, more popular than anybody else. But in any case, let's look at this photo right here. You have Chibidoki saying the following. They also cut us short, and we didn't get to meet everyone. I am so sorry. If you see me around the con, please feel free to say hi. And then Robono says, wait, they cut y'all short? When I asked the staff, they said that it was y'all who cut it short. I can't believe they tried and shift that onto you. She says, no. What? We always meet every person. Last year, we stayed for 3 hours. I think the line was too long, and for safety, they didn't want us staying. Then it says, Robono says, oh, that's sad. A lot of us had to leave because they told us the line was cut because of your voice issues and that typically they move folk to a different meet and greet area, but due to health conditions, it was just cut off. She says, what? But I never told any staff my voice problems. I didn't even talk to any staff near my booth, only at the entrance, right? So then she says, can anybody else from my meet and greet vouch for this? Nags and I were told to stop. I'm so incredibly sad if this is true. I was genuinely so excited to meet everyone. They told us we had to end for safety. I never even told any staff that I'm sick. I'm so confused. I showed up and I asked if I could wait for Nags before going out. That's the only time staff talked to me in the meet and greet area before telling us to cut the line short. I'm so sorry if this is true. And then another person verifies and says, yep, they straight up told us they were kicking us out because you couldn't talk anymore and we're ending early. We had only seen the tweet, so we were like, oh, understandable. But then after the meet and greet, we met up and you said that you did, and we kind of, question mark. If that is a straight up lie, I was feeling better and talking normally. I'm seriously so sorry, right? So more confirmation of lies. And again, this is where it gets really fucked up. So apparently they also threw out the fan gifts that she got from her fans that were waiting online that gave the gifts to the Twitch staff because obviously she was doing the meet and greet. They just magically threw them away or lost them or whatever the case would be. TwitchCon staff is all over the place on miscommunication between attendees and streamers. A friend of mine was given so much incorrect information, being originally told she could join your line after a separate meet and greet at the same time, but then removed entirely from the meet and greet area. She had a small bag, gift bag of things in a clear bag she wanted to give you. She asked security if they could give it to you. They said yes, then proceeded to toss it to a nearby trash bin. When she confronted them about it, they told her it was a security risk and could have held an explosive. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. We were told we could join the line again by one staffer only for security to tell us that it was capped. We don't blame any of you for this. Staff clearly doesn't know what it's doing. So, okay. At this point, if they threw it in the trash, like, do you not have a team there to investigate packages of any kind? Do you not have anything, remotely anything? And let me ask you a question. If it was an explosive, okay, why the fuck did you throw it in the trash? Do you think the trash can is going to contain an explosive and nothing is going to happen when the bomb goes off inside of the trash can? What kind of nonsense is that, bro? What kind of excuse is that? That was a completely made up lie, bro. There's no way you can sit here and tell me that by throwing the fucking gift into the trash bag, that somehow makes everybody safe from a potential explosive. We all know that is not what you were really doing. We all know that is not what you were actually trying to protect people from. You were throwing it into the trash because you didn't want it to get to the hands of the VTuber for whatever reason, right? And then if it was an explosive, how did it get past your metal detectors? How did it get past any of the stuff? Do you guys not have any security, anything whatsoever? Nothing? Like, this entire thing just seems made up on the fly. I feel like they're literally winging it. They're winging it at this point. They don't even know what the fuck they're even talking about. So now here's the interesting thing, right? ZanBT over on X says the following. As of right now, I have noted 12 similar incidents, all of them affecting only VTubers, right? Unless someone has seen regular streamers facing similar issues, then please share it. The only logical conclusion is that these are malicious actions perpetuated by some Twitch staffer and security. What is he referencing? He's referencing this from Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse says, I deeply apologize to all the VTubers and the fans who had meet and greets at the VTuber booth this year. It breaks my heart to know that staff throughout all of the gifts, all of them, every single one of them. I should have known better than to trust them and taking care of everything ahead of time. I am so sorry. So imagine the amount of money that people lost by buying gifts for these people for them to never get it. And then 12 different incidents affecting all VTubers happening at TwitchCon where gifts just magically get thrown out. Something's got to give, right? Something is clearly wrong here. Now, I want to make it very clear about one thing and one thing only. There is a hard-on that Twitch has, right? There's a hard-on that Twitch has for VTubers. I don't know what it is, right? I got to imagine that a lot of it has to do with protecting the status quo. And I think that when it comes to VTubers, I think they view them as a threat to the status quo, right? The typical e-thought, the typical, e-girl Twitch streamer that, usually gets astroturfed on that platform. That is being basically threatened by the success of VTubers. And they're trying everything they can to try to make sure that those girls get propped up and VTubers are held back as much as possible. And obviously it's not working because, authenticity is always going to shine through, right? Lilia says the following. A really insane thing happened to me while I was streaming on Twitch last night. I had over 130 viewers at the time, and suddenly it dropped to 10. I did a test as shown below to tell viewers to type 1 in the chat, and there was way more than 10 people there. The weird part about this is that usually the viewer count goes back up once people type, but it stayed at 10 viewers for over an hour. Eventually, as time went on, it dropped to 3 viewers and eventually 1 viewer. I rated out with 1 viewer, but the person's viewer count went up by over 100. It was not a visual bug, though. My Twitch tracker showed that I drastically fell from 10 to 3 to 1 viewer. I've seen lurkers not counted before, but now actual viewers were not being counted even after interacting. I did this test multiple times, one while I was recording my stats, and the other test was done before that with the chat being shown on screen. I am so confused, and I can only hope that this is a temporary problem. Now, this could be a temporary problem. It could be, right? It definitely could be. Because I've seen this happen with YouTube. YouTube, there was a moment I remember specifically where I had like 700 people in the chat, and then all of a sudden I dropped to like 30. Right. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why did something, die? Like, what's going on here? But then the chat started spamming like crazy. I'm like, there's way more than 30 people in the chat right now. Now, Rev says Desu put on a post here that kind of summarizes all of this, right? He says Twitch is being more transparent. This is not the W you think it is. Just know that Twitch's updated terms ban content like the VTuber on the left while actively promoting content on the right. Keep putting pressure on them. Force them to be consistent. What is he talking about? Well, there's a post here from this person called Fallen Shadows. It says, this image frightens Twitch staff. Like, comment, and retweet to strike intense and visceral fear into the hearts of Twitch moderators. They're apparently banning VTubers for showing feet. I'm not kidding. They're banning VTubers for showing feet. However, Reb says Desu posted this picture, which clearly shows that Twitch has no issues with any of this. I can't show the whole picture because of YouTube, but you can clearly see where this is going. If I lower it just a little bit, you can clearly see that this is one of those girls that has what we call, the old school ass cam, right? So what's the old school ass cam? So one of the cameras is showing her face and her body that is barely covered up, obviously. And the other camera is showing full on ass, okay? Full on ass. And there is a little snippet of gameplay. a little bitty snippet of gameplay that's here in the corner that, you know, you can pretend like you're looking at when we all know you're not looking at that. This is why people call Twitch the softcore website, because that's exactly what Twitch is. Twitch is the softcore to the softcore. Twitch is genuinely just made to be a funnel to OnlyFans streamers. That's basically it. That's all Twitch has been for a very, very, very long time. So, and keep in mind, guys, this is also something that has been happening where they'll put like a green effect on their ass and they'll put the gameplay on their ass. Like when I'm telling you, these girls are getting creative at trying to toe the lines of Twitch. This is really what's going on here. And then you wonder why Dan Clancy is being caught with all these female streamers. Now, again, guys, I find it ironic that this girl's whole ass is out here for everyone to see on Twitch with all the cutesy little fucking plushies in the background. But meanwhile, you know, feet as a VTuber is a massive problem and will get you suspended. I just find it to be very, very interesting. So overall, I feel bad for these VTubers who apparently, again, were getting, their gifts thrown out and whatnot. It's really kind of fucked up. And it just goes to show that Twitch has a massive hard-on for VTubers. Why that is, I really don't know. But you guys can let your conspiracies be known in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one. And that's it, boys. We got Rhonda with a 489, up, awake, and can't sleep at 4 a.m. in the morning here in the UK. AI is getting from bad to worse in the last 3 to 4 years. It really is. Just give it another 5 years and watch what's going to happen. Speedy Cake with a 10. Did you see what a few people on Twitter found recently about the shocker of pets? It was a drinking clip where he specifies with humans at the end of it. Yes, I did. I did. And I kind of wish I didn't. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of wish that I did not because, holy fuck. Holy fuck. I wish I didn't. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, I will show you right here.
Guys, I love sex, okay? I fucking love sex, dude. And I think it's one of the best things you can do on this planet. And I love to do it with humans, dude. Nothing substitutes, dude.
So obviously he's wasted, right? You could tell by his eyes. He is absolutely wasted. But there is something weird about someone saying he loves to do it with humans. Because I'm kind of just like, excuse me? So like, is there sex without humans? Like, are you having sex without humans? You know what I mean? It's just a little weird. He could also be trolling, by the way. So there's that. Cyborg says he's a lizard. Oh, a person says he said humans because he doesn't want to assume genders. Oh my God, you might be right. You might be right. He might be so co-opted in his mind from a liberal standpoint that he probably said humans as to not offend people who don't go by she, her pronouns. Poor Kaya. Oh, come on, bro. No, not the dog. Not the dog, bro. Not the dog. Which, by the way, we have Mecha Hassan versus Kaya. I love that clip. All right. Let's check something really quick. We got Branford with a 5. Bro, I've noticed an uptick of AI generated ads on YouTube while I'm watching videos as I'm driving to and from work. It's gotten out of control. Oh, big time. Big time, bro. Big time. 100%. Like it is all over, especially short form platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You have AI generated ads literally everywhere. And then they insult you and they're like, don't you guys hate those AI generated ads? And then you know it's AI generated ads. It's like, what? What the fuck, bro? Yes, I hate you. Stop showing me you. Ben with a 2. When will we see Mecha Hypno versus Hypno's dog, bro? I should make one, right? I should make one. You know what? I'll make one right now. I'll make one right now. Let's see. Because unlike Hassan, who I couldn't use his image because apparently he's a known figure and I'm not allowed to do that. Let's use my character and say, make a movie-like scene of this character, but as a massive mech machine fighting a mech dog with the same symbols on it and a shock collar around its neck. Make the battle epic, like a Michael Bay film, with lots of lightning around the battlefield. See how that goes. Let's see how that goes. All right, boys. In the meantime, I'll show that after the waifu battle. We got to get into the waifu battle. We're getting felted. I don't even think we're at tier 1. So this might be the night that I guess everybody spent their money on Smash's stream. We're gonna lose tier 2. But you know what? If that's meant to be, it's meant to be. Let's have fun in the waifu battle. That's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. And if you're not gonna join me for the waifu battle, number 1, you're gay. And if you're already gay, then you're straight. And number 2, I appreciate you. Come hang out with us tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. Same time, same place. But we got a lot we got to talk about. You already know how it goes. All right, boys. Let's get into this, man. Waifu battle. Here we go. All right, boys. Waifu battle is here. Gamer Forever says for 20, don't forget about the game I gifted. Oh, let me check that real quick. Let me do that really quick. I don't want to leave that hanging. Hold on. Let me check that. Let me check that. Dragon says, I hope you could gift me Battlefield 6, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. So here's what I'm going to say. Okay. I appreciate the gift. Thank you so much. But if you're doing a gift for a gift, what I'm going to say is don't gift me any games, because number 1, that sets a really bad precedent. Okay. Because I give out gifted games when I do my giveaways. So I'm going to have to decline this because I don't feel right taking it, because I feel like that's not right. I can't do that. Just being fair. Because that would be kind of fucked up if I were to accept it under that precedent. But number 2, thank you though. That was very, very nice. That was very, very nice of you. I appreciate the gesture. I really do. But I can't accept it under that notion. I apologize. And then Xavier gifted Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series. Shout out to Xavier. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I think did I see this on PlayStation? Did I see this on PlayStation? I forgot where I saw this for free. I don't know if it was PlayStation. But I appreciate that, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I don't know if you're still watching, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Xavier. Okay. Now we're going to get into the waifu battle, boys. We're going to get into the waifu battle. First things first, ladies and gentlemen. We got a brand new champion. We got a brand new champion, boys. A brand new champion. If you guys missed yesterday, there was a little bit of a last-minute felting that happened where people were talking so much shit, and Sonya lost her mind. Sonya lost her mind. Jean from Suikoden became the waifu battle champion. And there she goes. There she goes. Sonya is losing her mind, boys. Losing her mind. Jean from Suikoden ended up destroying Vampirella, taking her down from the championship, resulting in one of the biggest feltings I think I've ever seen. Now, with that being said, before we bring out the challenger, let's go over the rules. Rule number 1. All super chats during the waifu battle can and will count towards a particular waifu, but the only way that it's going to count is if you put the name of the waifu in the super chat first. You got to put the name first. If you do not put the name of the waifu in the super chat first, then it will not count. It doesn't matter how big they are. If you super chat after the fact and you put the name of the waifu you forgot to put the first time first, then I will make it count. Rule number 2. You can vote for any waifu regardless of who's on the screen. It doesn't matter. You can vote for the champion, who is Jean, or you can vote for the challenger, who you're about to find out. It doesn't matter who's on screen at the time. Last but not least, after the second waifu comes off screen, I'm going to do a 30-second countdown. After the 30-second countdown, no more super chats are going to count. It doesn't matter how big they are. The last super chat that shows up on my screen is going to be the one that counts. So please, if you're going to vote, vote early and vote hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do we understand the rules? We don't understand the rules. I know we don't. Jean would never dress like that. Well, see, here's the beautiful thing, right? In the waifu battle, 99% of the waifus we showcase would never dress the way we dress them. That's just kind of how it goes, right? All right, boys, listen. Today's challenger is going to be a brand new waifu, which means we're going to get no votes, and we're going to lose all our tiers. This particular challenger was requested on Discord, so we're gonna showcase it, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see how she does. Now, considering she's going against Jean, I feel like a lot of people are gonna revenge vote against Jean, which is pretty plausible, right? I feel like it's pretty plausible. So maybe she'll win just based off that alone. We'll see. All right, boys. The challenger that's going to go up against Jean is going to be none other than the one and the only Shigori from history's strongest disciple, Kenichi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. The names are on the bottom. The names are on the bottom. Let me know. Who is it that you're voting for? And hopefully you follow the rules. Hopefully you follow the rules. We'll see. Sonya thinks she's cute. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Sonya thinks she's cute. Wow. That's got to be a plus, right? That's got to be a plus. We got Deadeye's Lock with $1 saying Shigori. Shout out. Let's go. Let's go. The first vote already is in. D Draconic with a 5 says Shigori. Let's go. Toxin with a 269 saying Shigori. I don't know who this is, but holy fuck. All right, fair enough. See, that's how it should go, right? You may not know who it is, but you still love to vote anyway. Deadeye's Lock with $1 says Shiguri. Right now, all the votes are for the challenger. No champion votes. Demon Carol, have a good night, bro. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. Deadeye's Lock says I meant to do 2. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. 1 and 1 counts for something. Torino with a $5 super chat over on Rumble for Shiguri. Shout out to Torino. Thank you so much for the 5, bro. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. Sonia says, Rumble, where you at? Rumble has more super chats than YouTube right now. What are you talking about? Branford with a 5 saying Shiguri. All right. Sonia is just wanting Jean to lose. That's really what it is. Sonia's wanting Jean to lose. She's angry. She's angry. And to be honest, Sonia, I think we're all going to lose. I think this is it. We're all going to lose. Defeat Jean. See? Like, everybody just wants... Yeah, look at this. Fuck that hoe. That's crazy. That is crazy. This is fucking... She said, fuck that hoe. That is insane, bro. That is insane. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did Mr. Rouge just save tier 1 and tier 2? Is that what this fucking legend did? Mr. Rouge, I thought you were on vacation, bro. I thought you were on vacation, man. Holy shit. Talk about a last minute save. We were about to lose everything. Holy fuck. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Holy shit, bro. Mr. Rouge, thank you, man. I'm going to give you a proper clip. Make sure you pick the girls you want to see, Mr. Rouge. Or hear. Whatever. We got new elf girls. Everybody likes that clip if you want to play that one. Biology Wolf with a 10 says Shiguri might pick Justice for Lucy. Sonya Lisette. Bro, that's insane. We're going to end up banning Jean from the waifu battle. She has no votes right now. And it's sad because you guys are going to feel really bad considering she dressed up for you. But that's your fault, not mine. Welcome to the waifu battle, Jean. Let's start the clock and let's see who's going to win. Is it going to be Jean? Or is it going to be Shiguri? Let's find out, boys. Let's find out. Mr. Rouge says not yet, and now a bit later again. All for a good cause, your pick. All right, I'll play Elf Girls after this because we all like the Elf Girl clip. I'll play that one. I got Mr. Rouge. Holy shit. Moogle says the true fans always come through in clutch. Bro, you have no idea. I was ready to give it up. I really thought that was it. I thought that was it for both tiers. I really did. And to be fair, it probably was going to be if it wasn't for Mr. Rouge, but still. Holy shit, man. Mr. Melancholy with a 2 says Jean. I think the minimum is going to be $10. If you don't want a waifu to be banned from the waifu battle, she has to at least make $10 at the minimum. At the minimum. That's going to be the new rule going forward. $10 will be the minimum. Because I feel like $2 is too easy to save someone. What if they're really trash, right? $10 is the minimum. Tuber Sprouts with a 2 says Jean not going to win, but don't want her banned. I respect that. I respect that. Sonya says new rule created. Yup. Make it lore. Make it lore. $10. I'd make it 20. Nah. I'm trying to not have these waifus get banned. You know what I mean? But $10 is fine. $10 is fine. Denner Ryer with a 10. Look at that right there. Look at that. Right there. With a 10 says Jean just to avoid the ban. Once again, to try to put anything gay in. Denner Ryer, shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Democulus over on Rumble. For a 10 says Jean, she doesn't deserve to be sacrificed to the waifu graveyard. There you go. Makes sense. Grateful Gamer with a 2. Shiguri. Shout out to you. Thank you, brother. Speedy Cake with a 10. Shiguri. Hashtag vengeance for Vampy. I told you, bro. People are literally just going to vote against Jean because they're mad about Vampirella. That's all it is. A Gamer Forever with an NOK20 says Jean, pity vote. Fair enough. Hey, Jean's got a decent amount of pity votes, so she's not going to get banned. I mean, look at this body. You really want her banned? You really want her banned? Deco Leader says Sonya's still coping over Vampirella. Yup, she sure is. She sure is. She's going to be mad all night, bro. All night. All night. But that's okay. That's okay. Damn, not a single big hit for Jean. Which means Mr. Rouge's complete wipeout is going to stop Jean from getting her belt or keeping her belt. Hypno's dog with a 10. Gene, don't get banned. Dad might not like me. Sniff, sniff. I'm not crying, chat. Chat is sniff, stiff. Bro. Hypno's dog is crazy. I have a great AI clip for you, Hypno's dog. Don't worry, it's coming. After the waifu battle. After the waifu battle. Let's battle Sonya. Right? All right, boys. Jean's coming off screen. Gamer Forever says for a 20, Shiguri win. I love her favorite waifu. Oh, nice. Nice. I didn't know that was her favorite waifu. Let's do the final countdown. Let's see who's going to win. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And as expected, ladies and gentlemen, the only super chat to come in at the last second were 2. GDR with a 2 saying Furin over on YouTube, of course. Only when she's never in the actual waifu battle. And Torinol for a 5 over on Rumble saying Hypno and the Great Pumpkin. Have faith and he will appear. Bro, this Hypno and the Great Pumpkin shit is wild. It is wild. Shout out to you, bro. And that is it. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. So mods, count it up, even though we kind of know where this went. Mr. Rouge for the $500 Red Boy Ultra Hyper Banger. Ultra Mega Hyper Banger. We're going to bring some elf girls to the stream, boys. We are going to bring some elf girls. It's a good way to end the waifu battle.
All right, boys, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Mr. Rouge again. Thank you so much, Mr. Rouge. I appreciate that. Reaper Knight says, you realize Ninja Gaiden 4 is out now? Yeah, I realize that. Why do you mention that? T-Jab Steve with the numbers. Shigure is at $399.21. Oh my God. Oh my God. There is a level of revenge. We talked about Ninja Gaiden yesterday. I know we did. People don't check, I guess. There's a level of revenge that should be illegal. That's illegal. Okay. Against Jean, who surprisingly got a decent amount of votes at $42.73. It's really not terrible. It's really not terrible when you think about it. I mean, she got blasted, right? She got blasted, don't get me wrong, but it's really not that bad. So with all that being said, unfortunately, that looks like we have a new champion, ladies and gentlemen. A new champion at almost $400 flat. The winner and the new Waifu Battle champion is none other than the one and the only. And I'm totally not stalling for time right now as I make the picture showcasing her with the belt. because I was too busy gooning to the elf ladies because it's a really good clip and I thoroughly like it. The winner and the new champion is none other than the one and the only Shigure, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, man. What a win. What a win. Epic win. Well, we all kind of know now that Sonya's going to sleep really well tonight. Like, I feel like Sonya did not even sleep last night. That is how mad she was. I mean, she came into the chat blazing today. So she could let it go now. She could let it go. Let it go, Sonya. And I highly doubt there's anybody coping and seething. Let's be real.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that is going to be it for the Waifu Battle. Shigure is going to go backstage where she will face off against another waifu tomorrow. Hypnocast, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss it. Same time every day. All right, boys. Listen, we are fully caught up everywhere. Thank you guys so much for the insane support today, for liking, stream, commenting, spamming the chat, super chatting, gifting memberships. Shout out to Mr. Rouge for saving the day. Sincerely, man. That was amazing. That came out of left field. I thought you were on vacation. I was letting you hang out, do your thing. He came through right at the end like fucking Batman, saving tier 1 and saving tier 2 in one shot. That's insane, bro. Unheard of. Unheard of. Thank you so much, Mr. Rouge. I greatly appreciate that. I saw your comment in the chat that you loved the elf girls, but that you like the Japanese goth girls better. So we are going to end the stream on Japanese goth girls for such a legendary super chat. We're going to end on Japanese goth girls just for you. So thank you to the Hypno Mods for doing what they do every single day. I appreciate you as well. And we will see you guys on the next one. Stay to the end for the raid. And until then, go be bigots and go be gooners. Bye. Oh, I forgot to show the AI dog clip. I forgot to show the dog clip. Hold on. Wait a second. It's not... It came out in portrait. I don't know why it came out in portrait. Oh, god damn it. Why did it do that? It's gonna show in portrait. Hold on. I'll fix it to be horizontal, but I'll play it anyway. Stupid AI. Here we go. This is me beating up Hypno Dog, I guess. That's actually kind of cool. I think I could make something happen with that. I'm going to explore that a little bit more. I think I can make something interesting with that. I'll have something for tomorrow. All right, boys. Enjoy some Japanese goth girls. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Oh my god, it's a red boy hyper banger.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
The dog, or her cat, was named Vagina. Vagina. Vagina.
Put a ticket in, make her gay. Suck it, Indiana Jones. Put a ticket in, make her gay. Fuck it, Indiana. Put a ticket in, make her gay. It means put a chicken in it, Queenie, and make her fucking gay. Fucking pronouns! Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day California shit! Cause it's all we fucking know! Cause we're boring! We're so fucking Twitter hole! Twitter hole! Get it right!
At the touch of the black man, I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life.